Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. For the first time ever on this YouTube channel, we are bringing live commentary for women's football with this Women's Super League fixture. In this lunchtime kickoff, we have Arsenal women taking on Manchester City, with both teams certainly looking to be close to the top of the table come the end of this season. Arsenal haven't had the best starts to their standards as their opening four WSL games. They have picked up 2 wins, which have both come in their last 2 games against Aston Villa at home and Bristol City away. But in the opening day, they were slumped to a 1-0 home defeat to Liverpool, but a decent draw at United made their start a little bit better. For Manchester City, it's almost been the perfect start with 3 wins from 4, and the only game without victory was the controversial draw to Chelsea, as City ended the game with 9 players after red cards for Alex Greenwood and Lauren Hemp. Last season, these two sides met 3 times, with league games being split with 1 win each, both coming as home victories. But they also met in the Women's League Cup semi-final at home of Arsenal Women Meadow Park, where the game is played today, with the Gunners winning 1-0 after a Blackstenius winner in extra time. So will Arsenal make it 3 wins on the bounce today in the league, or can Manchester City continue their unbeaten start to this campaign? City were top of the table at the start of this weekend, but Chelsea played yesterday against Aston Villa away and beat them 6-0. So Chelsea have gone back to the top of the WSL. But with a win today, City could go joint top. They won't go top, I don't think, because Chelsea do have a +3 goal difference, so Manchester City would have to win by 4 goals to go top. But they can go joint top, which is, I don't think they'll be complaining just because they're a second on goal difference, but a big win for City would be quite the statement, especially away at Arsenal. It's a tough place to go. They are very strong, usually at Meadow Park. Arsenal, their defeat at the start of the season to Liverpool was at the Emirates. It was a 1-0 loss. It was, a bit of a lacklustre performance, and their 2 wins on the bounce now to start the season off with wins against Aston Villa at home. Again, that was at the Emirates as well. The game against Aston Villa, and that was very close to a defeat. They went 1-0 down in the 25th minute, but a Katie McCabe goal in the 92nd minute and then a Alessia Russo winner in the 94th gave them the winner in front of over 54,000 fans. So, it was very nearly 0 wins in 3, but, the mentality and the squad that Arsenal have, that they can pull results out like that when they are down, even in 90 plus minutes, they can still go on and win the game. And then their last game was a 2-1 away win at Bristol. They did take the lead in that one, McCabe with the first one, then they were pegged back in the 16th minute, but then McCabe again scoring in the 59th minute and bringing back another 3 points for Arsenal. They do currently sit 7th in the league, but with 7 points, so if they do win today, they'll go equal on points with Manchester City. So it does show how after 4 games, and going on to now 5 games being played this season, how close it is. It takes 8, 9, 10 games in this division to kind of see where teams may finish and who's going to be competing with who. So it's early days, so league positions can be very deceiving to a team's quality and how good they can be. So I don't think it should be looked upon that Arsenal are going to be struggling at any point this season. Obviously, not winning their first 2 wasn't great, but I'm positive that they'll be up there this season, like they usually are. A bit of a lacklustre season though last year, third place in the end, a little bit off Chelsea and Manchester United, who finished first and second. Their last league title now was in the 2018-2019 season, and it was 5 seasons ago. So it's been a while since they've won a league title, Arsenal, but they have really brought in the players to try and bring the trophy and the league title back to Arsenal. The biggest one, obviously, was the free transfer of Alessia Russo from Manchester United on a free. They put a record bid in the January, I think it's £500,000, and that was rejected by Manchester United because they run a league charge themselves, so they wouldn't want to lose their star striker, so they took the hit and lost her in the summer on a free, and Arsenal snapped her up as quick as possible. She's only got the 1 goal so far though this season in the WSL, and it was that last minute winner against Aston Villa a couple of weeks ago now in their first win of the season. So we're going to go through both teams now as we're under 5 minutes away from kickoff. And we'll start with the home side, and it's going to be Manuela Zinsberger, the Austrian goalkeeper, to start in goal. She's got over 100 appearances for Arsenal. At right back is going to be Katie McCabe. She's got 3 goals in her last 2 games in the WSL. Been playing winger, but she's been dropped back to right back today. 2 centre backs are Lottie Woburn-Moy and Amanda Eilsted, who was their first summer transfer from PSG. And at left back is number 7, Steph Catley, the Australian full-back who scored twice in the group stages at the World Cup in the summer. 2 holding midfielders are going to be Victoria Pelova and Leah Volti, with a 3 behind the striker. On the right, it's going to be Chloe Lacasse, who scored an absolute stunner to equalise in the 93rd minute for Arsenal in that 2-2 draw away at Manchester United. On the left is going to be another Australian, that is Caitlin Ford. She's got the 1 goal so far this season, and that came in Champions League qualifying. Behind the striker is going to be number 10 and captain Kim Little, who's got no goals so far this season in any competition, even though she did score 4 WSL goals last season. And up front, leading the line, is Alessia Russo. Did score once against Manchester City whilst at Manchester United in a 2-2 draw back in October of 2021. So she'll be wanting to get back on the score sheet against her old rivals. And the bench is D'Angelo, Maritz, Beatty, Manu, Cooney Cross, Mead, Hertig, Blackstenius and Miedemar. And for the travelling side, Manchester City, they start with Kiara Keating in goal, who has played all WSL games so far this season, only conceding 1 goal, and that came in that 1-1 draw at home to Chelsea. Back 4 of Esme Morgan, Alana Kennedy, Lila Ahabi and Laya Alexandri. And then 2, I believe, that are going to be holding is going to be Yui Hasigawa and Jill Roord. And Jill Roord was their City's first summer signing, one of only 2 signings they made in the summer from Wolfsburg. And behind the striker is going to be right winger Mary Fowler, the Australian, who signed a 4-year contract at Manchester City upon joining. On the left is going to be Lauren Hemp, who returns after her red card against Chelsea. She played half an hour in their last league game against Leicester. And in behind, we believe, I'm going to have a look, see where they finish, because Fowler, Kelly and Hemp are all more wingers, but one of them is going to have to play in behind the striker, so we believe it might be Chloe Kelly, who's got 2 goals so far coming against Chelsea and Leicester. She started every game so far in the WSL. Lauren Hemp is also going to be playing on the left. She's got the 1 goal, and it came in the opening game for them against West Ham. And up front is going to be Kadja, or more known as Bunny Shaw, joined in June of 2021 from Bordeaux. She's got the 2 goals so far this season. They both came against Bristol City in their win against the bottom side in the table. So, and then the bench as well for Manchester City is going to be Sandy McCaver, Kirsten Kasperay, Steph Horton, Ruben Mace, Philippa Angeldal, Laura Coombs, Dania Castellanos, Jess Park and Julie Blackstad as well. Hello. I hope everyone is ready for kick-off, as we are about to kick off in minutes or so time. 2 of the biggest teams and clubs in the WSL come face to face in this lunchtime kick-off at 12:30. Should be a good game. Arsenal have firepower back on their bench, the likes of Beth Mead, who's returning from her ACL injury. She got the assist for the winner against Aston Villa at the Emirates a couple of weeks ago in Arsenal's first league win. Vivian Miedemar came off the bench in the 96th minute against Bristol City from her return from an ACL injury that she picked up 11 months ago. She did label it as an emotional roller coaster, but they're both back now, so they've got real firepower back in their squad here. Arsenal, but so do Manchester City. They've got some firepower themselves, as the referee today is going to be Rebecca Welch, who is the first ever woman to be involved in the officiating of a men's Premier League match. She was the 4th official yesterday at Fulham against Manchester United, but she is the referee today for Arsenal against Manchester City. As the referee blows the whistle, all sets of players take the knee, as it is Arsenal in their red, Manchester City in their blue. City kick off, kicking left to right, Arsenal right to left at a sold-out Meadow Park. As City go back to Kennedy, who plays up the field long, down the left, looking for Shaw, headed away for Arsenal. Fowler and Hasegawa getting in each other's way there, and the ball will be seen out for a throw-in midway inside their own half here for Arsenal. And McCabe will take it quickly. It's a long throw-in down the line, looking for Russo, dealt with by Alexandri. It goes down the line again, and there'll be another throw-in here for Arsenal, just inside their own half here, in front of their home technical area. As it's McCabe with the ball. 3 goals for her this season in the WSL. All 3 in their last 2 games. As the throw-in's picked up by Fowler. It's now Kelly, who's met a very strong challenge, but it's back to Fowler. Hasegawa for City, just on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's now Alana Kennedy to Ahabi at the back, being forced to go back towards goal here, being pressed here quickly by Russo, and she plays it into Keating in the City goal, who goes back out to Ahabi. It's a loose pass, but it's picked up by the Manchester City centre-half, who clears it up the field, and it's chested down beautifully and played out to the right-hand side. Fantastic skill. And it's now with Manchester City, number 20, Jill Roord. As on the halfway line, City are in possession. Esme Morgan at right back. Forward down the right-hand side here to Chloe Kelly. Inside again to Roord. Here's Hemp, who's just drifted out to the right-hand side here to link up with her teammates, taking on 2 Arsenal players on the halfway line and finding Hasegawa. He goes forward again. And it's back out here to Chloe Kelly on the right-hand side. 1-on-1 with Catley at left back for Arsenal. Getting the crossing towards the edge of the box. It goes all the way through to Bunny Shaw at the back post. In the box. Takes it on the left foot. Strikes towards goal. And it's just wide of the post there for a shot at goal in the game from the Jamaican. Bunny Shaw, who last season got the 20 WSL goals. 31 she picked up in all competitions. And it wasn't well defended there from Arsenal. Amanda Ailsted in the defence. Swinging to clear it and completely kicked air. And it fell through to Bunny Shaw, who was 1-on-1 with McCabe at the far post, but a weak-footed, left-footed shot was fired wide. As Arsenal try and build here from the back with their number 19, Caitlin Ford. Keeps it nicely away from Jill Roord of Manchester City, and Arsenal have it in their 18-yard box with Wubben-Moy. Clearance deflected, and it falls to Hemp. Edge of the box, shifts it onto her left foot, enters the box, being forced back towards the goal. As she goes down towards the byline, tries to cross it, she slips and kicks it out of play, but it's a little bit of a shaky first 2.5 minutes here for Arsenal. City need to take advantage of this because the Blues are the team in form at the minute, unbeaten so far this season. But as she was just trying to force her way towards the byline to get the cross in there, Hemp just slipped over, unfortunately, as Lauren Hemp did have a good international break that's just passed for the England women, scoring the 1-0 winner against Belgium at the King Power. As Arsenal play from the back, it's with their left back, Catley, the Australian. In the defensive third here is Wubben-Moy in the 18-yard box, whose clearance is better. It's a crossfield ball to the right-hand side, looking for McCabe, who keeps it in here on the far side for Arsenal. Inside it goes to number 21, Palova, who'll drive away from Hasegawa, but met by the challenge of Roord. And City have it back, but then it's won back by Arsenal with McCabe. Going back now to Ailsted. He just needs to settle down in the game. As I mentioned before, that cross that was put in from Kelly, she completely hit the ball and it fell to Shaw. As a pass forward cut out by Shaw. Fowler out to the right now to Kelly. Bright yellow headband on. You can't miss the number 9 for City. Who plays it through the gap in behind for Bunny Shaw. He's got the shot on goal. It's blocked and it's picked up here by McCabe. Again, Shaw getting another shot off at goal as the ball's gone forward to Russo on halfway. She keeps it away and fires it out to the right hand side, looking for the run of, I think that was Lacasse. I think it was the number 24 for Arsenal on the right wing. But midway inside the Manchester City half, it's a throw in here for Alexandri. He finds Hasegawa and gets the return. It's Keating in the goal for Manchester City. Needs to move it quickly, and she does do so. And, well, it looked like a nice ball down the right-hand side, and it is. It's been kept in by Kelly midway inside the Manchester City half on this near side. It's now to Roord. Goes back into Keating in the 18-yard box for City as they keep possession here. As I mentioned before, just 1 goal conceded so far this season for Keating in the WSL. 3 clean sheets so far. City have got off to a good start after a little bit of a disappointing season last time out, finishing 4th. Same points as Arsenal, but Arsenal were better on goal difference. Still with Keating here. That's at Harby at left centre half for Manchester City, just in front of the 18-yard box. It's now to Kennedy on the right-hand side of the back 2 in the central defence. Morgan the right back inside to Hasegawa on halfway now. It has been a bad challenge there by Volti. Slight tackles there on Jill Roord. And we might get the first booking of the game. Does Rebecca Welch have a card out? Yeah, she has the yellow out. Number 13, Leah Volti. Just went late there in behind Jill Roord. She thought she could win the ball, but the ball had passed her and she took out the Dutch midfielder for Manchester City, who signed in the summer. 3 goals so far this season in the WSL. She is Manchester City's leading scorer. And City are back in possession in the centre circle here with Alexandri, who'll drive forward and play down the line into Fowler, who's got Hemp in support. She goes on the inside and cuts the ball into the box with her right foot, headed away by Wubben-Moy, and Hasegawa's short pass is picked up by Kim Little, and it's played out to the right-hand side here to Lacasse, who's been chased down by a Harby, but she'll get the ball away down in behind, looking in the box for Russo. It's misplaced, and it's picked up and collected by Keating. City have had the better chances in the opening 6 minutes of the game. Arsenal yet to have a shot at goal. And it is Alexandri, who looks like she's going to be the one playing left centre-back for Manchester City, and it's going to be a Harby at left-back. City just have the ball in their 18-yard box with goalkeeper Rihanna Chiara Keating, who left Manchester United at the age of 11 to join Manchester City as a kick forward towards the halfway line. Can't be kept by Hemp, but it's one back here for Manchester City with Bunny Shaw midway inside her own half, dropping deep from the forward position as she's been brought down cynically there by Arsenal's number 21 Victoria Pelova. And it's another booking. 2 quick bookings in 7 minutes for Arsenal. Both of their holding midfielders have been booked here. Bunny Shaw dropped deep, and it's quite cynical, and it probably is a yellow card. I know it's early on in the game, but she's got nowhere near the ball, and it's quite, her knee's quite high on Bunny Shaw's thigh there. So both of Arsenal's holding midfielders on bookings as the ball's been played out to the left-hand side here to Hemp. Back to Fowler. He's on halfway now on the far side with a Harby. It's now Manchester City pressing forward. Pass forward into Hemp. Tries to take it on the turn. Dispossessed though by Volti. And Arsenal head back to keep possession with Zinsberger in the Arsenal goal. Left-footed pass. Tries to find the left back of Catley. Cut out by Kelly. And she just about is met there by Zinsberger. And Kelly kicks out for a goal kick. But Arsenal, very shaky start. Chloe Kelly nearly capitalising on the Zinsberger mistake. Chloe Kelly, formerly of Arsenal through her youth days and then professionally from 2015 to 2018. She used to travel 2 hours by train to travel at Arsenal. Chloe Kelly, who's now made her name at Manchester City. Obviously scoring the winning goal at the Euros back in 2022. As Arsenal have it with a goalkeeper from the goal kick, Zinsberger. She goes to her right here, to Eilsted. Back into Zinsberger, who's left-footed clearance. Doesn't have much distance on it, and it's now roared into Kelly. Tries to go first time into Hemp, and she picks it up here on the edge of the box. Goes backwards, halfway inside the Arsenal half of Hasegawa. Goes back once more to Alexandri. It's now with Kennedy on halfway. Out to right back, Morgan. Furthest right here is Chloe Kelly. One-on-one with Catley. Will she take it down the right-hand side? She will do. She charges into the final third. Gets a cross into the box. It's a header away by Wubben-Moy. And that will be a corner kick for Manchester City. On this near side. It's Arsenal just not quite into the flow of the game at the minute. City just seem a little bit more confident and comfortable in the game. As it'll be Chloe Kelly stood over this corner. As Manchester City have got 8 players forward for this corner as they want to try and take the lead in this game early on. Chloe Kelly goes short into Hemp, then gets the return. Kelly out to the edge of the box here to Hasegawa. Back out to Kelly, everything to her left. Tries to take on Pelova for Arsenal and gets a cross into the box far post towards Shaw, who heads it into the box. It's headed away to the edge, but not very far. Hemp, cleared by McCabe for Arsenal, and it's going to go for a Manchester City throw-in right on the halfway line here. As Arsenal do end up defending that set piece. As Arsenal themselves have conceded 5 goals so far, only failed to score in 1 of their opening 4, and that was the opening day defeat at the Emirates to Liverpool. Hasegawa, back into Harby, ball inside to Fowler. He's looking backwards, and she goes into Alexandri for Manchester City. into their 18-yard box now with goalkeeper Keating. Now with Kennedy being pressed here quickly by Ford, but she moves it on quickly onto right back Esme Morgan, who charges forward from Manchester City at right back. Ball into the channel, finds Bunny Shaw. It's a fantastic pass, edge of the box on the right side, enters the box on the angle, tries to cut inside onto her left foot where she gets the shot away, and it's quite central to the goal, so it's an easy save in the end from Manuela Zinsberger. Great ball down the right channel from Esme Morgan, in between Wubbenmoy and Catley on Arsenal's left side of the defence. And Bunny Shaw, usually right-footed, but saw the space on her left side, so cut inside and got the shot away from around 14 yards out as she slips the ball through here to Hemp. Wubbenmoy with a tackle, it deflects to Chloe Kelly, back to goal, spins and shoots! Oh, it's just wide of the right post. City definitely look the side who are going to score first at the minute. Kelly coming close. Didn't quite see how the ball was won back there because they were showing replays of Shaw's first attempt. But Shaw played it through towards Hemp. It was deflected off McCabe into Kelly. Back to goal, but she was able to spin away from Catley and shoot with her left foot. Great agility there from Kelly. Spun, left-footed shot. Always just curling away from goal, unfortunately. And it remains after 11.5 minutes. Arsenal 0, Manchester City 0. But Arsenal yet to have a shot at the Manchester City goal. Manchester City have had, I think, 4 shots so far. One of them on target from Bunny Shaw. As Arsenal throw-in goes down the line here to Russo. Back towards Catley at left back. Runs out of room. Throw-in from Manchester City. Midway inside the Arsenal half. But it'll be taken more towards the halfway line by Morgan, who wants to get the ball moving quick. And it's back into the City half with Kennedy. It's now into number 4, Alexandri, who signed last summer from Atletico Madrid, where she came through the Barcelona Academy before joining Atletico Madrid. Alexandri, who takes the captain's armband today for Manchester City, and it is here Alana Kennedy, the Australian, 28 years of age now. She had some horrific injury issues in the last few years. Kennedy, fractured shoulder, calf tear, and some knee issues as well. So she struggled for games last season, Kennedy, but she's been ever present so far this season in the WSL for Manchester City, playing every game so far, every minute, as that's a late one. Midway inside the Arsenal half, McCabe, the player, fouled, and the yellow card's out again. Lauren Hemp, rightly given as well for the number 11. She needs to be careful. Lauren Hemp already picked up a red card this season at home to Chelsea. In the only game Manchester City have dropped points in this season, Hemp was running through, just overran it. And then as she tried to win it back with a bit of a spin slide tackle, she cynically took out Katie McCabe, the Arsenal right back, who herself is coming into this WSL game off the back of a successful international break with Ireland scoring a hat-trick against Albania on the 27th of October, as Arsenal have got it on the edge of the City box, played through here and played out here. Catley from fullback, shot and goal! Arsenal's first attempts hit the top right corner, and it's left back Catley with the goal. Out of nothing. Arsenal have done very little going forward in the first 13 minutes. But with their first attempt, they've broken the deadlock. Getting forward from left back, Steph Catley, who gets her first goal of the season. It was a long ball forward from the free kick down their right-hand side. It was flicked on towards Alessia Russo, who was beaten to it by Alexandri, who played it back to Keating, the goalkeeper, whose clearance was poor. Was picked up around 25 yards out here, and as it was played to the left-hand side, it was helped on to Steph Catley, who'd made a run forward. Really good hold-up play there by Volti to find Catley on the right-hand side. So it's actually number 19, Caitlin Ford, who had a back to goal, saw the run on the outside from Catley, who on her own was able to fire a left-footed shot into the top right corner. Kiara Keating with not a chance in the world of saving that one. Arrowed into the top right corner, and the home side have the lead. First chance of the game, and they've taken it. Clinical. Manchester City will definitely be scratching their heads, wondering how on earth they are down in this one. But if you don't take your chances, you don't win football matches, and Arsenal have done just that, with Keating in the City goal, firing it out to the left-hand side towards Mary Fowler. Her touch is in a pass, so she keeps it alive here and goes inside nicely to Road. It's now Hasegawa out to the right to Morgan, forward into Road again, back to Morgan in Hasegawa in the centre circle, playing out to the left here to Alexandri. forward into Hemp on the left-hand side. It's a poor touch and it allows Arsenal to pick the ball back up once again. Pelova in the midfield on the halfway. Keeps it simple and goes back to McCabe. Back once more into Eilstedt. Into the 18-yard box with Zinsberger. Curls it out to the left-hand side to goalscorer Catley. First of the season for the Australian. It's now Wubben-Moy at left back for Arsenal. Left-footed ball down the line towards the halfway line. Picked up by Russo. Heavy touch allows Morgan to steal it off her. And it's now a ball towards Shaw and behind. It's overhit. And it'll run through. The ball through there for Shaw was played by Esme Morgan from Manchester City. She found her once already, but that time was just a little bit overhit there. And it's now Zinsberger. Try to clip it out to the left towards Catley. She'd made a run backwards. Zinsberger played it forward. And the ball runs out of play for a throw-in for City, as they have it on the halfway line now with Japanese international Hasegawa, who reached the quarterfinals with Japan in the World Cup. Just gone as a ball out to the left-hand side to Ahabi. It's gone for a throw-in for Arsenal. Misplaced touch. There's Ahabi herself. Spent 11 years at Barcelona before leaving the club for Manchester City in the summer of last season. But City have already won the ball back quickly. It's with their goalkeeper Keating in the 18-yard box. He's only conceded the second goal of the season, both against London opposition. As she's not being pressed here. Kiara Keating. As the 18-yard box with Kennedy. High ball over the top, looking in behind for Kelly. It's way overhit, and it'll run right through to Zinsberger in the Arsenal 18-yard box. They're trying a few of those balls down the channels, Manchester City, try to look in behind, but none of them have really come to anything. As Wubben-Moy receives it from the goalkeeper and plays it to left back. Catley on halfway, in behind herself, looking for Russo, who's making the run, and it has to be dealt with here by Kennedy, whose touch goes towards the corner flag as she plays it down the right side to Morgan, whose ball is short towards Keating, who swipes at it, and that's going to be a penalty, and it is. It's gone from bad to worse here for Manchester City, who had such a positive beginning to the game. But as the ball was played into Esme Morgan, she tried to go back towards Kiara Keating, and she played it to her short, and it allowed Chloe Lacasse to get there ahead of the goalkeeper, who swung at the ball, missed it, caught the player, and concedes the penalty. And it looks like Arsenal may be able to double their lead here in their first game back at their home stadium of Meadow Park. Really poor ball from Esme Morgan. It was a bit of a blind pass towards the goalkeeper, not realising that Chloe Lacasse was so close, and it's a penalty all day long. Completely misses the ball, catches Lacasse, and it's a penalty kick for Arsenal. Can't really blame the goalkeeper though, because the pass was not good enough at all. Left her in a position where she had to commit for the challenge, and it was going to go one way or the other. She was either going to get the ball or she wasn't. And unfortunately for Manchester City, it's gone the opposite way, and it's been a penalty kick rewarded for Arsenal, who have really switched it on the last 5 minutes after a pretty shaky start. As Russo has got the ball in her hands, and it's now been placed into the hands of Captain Kim Little, who has not scored so far this season in all competitions, including the 2 Champions League qualifying games. Steph Catley, who got the first goal, she hadn't scored this season. Could we get another new scorer for Arsenal in this new campaign? It's Little against Keating, 12 yards out, in front of the home supporters. Can the penalty be dispatched? Arsenal's number 10, Kim Little. Bottom right corner, it's saved onto the post and cleared for a corner. Kiara Keating, who conceded the penalty, goes from villain to hero. She telegraphed it, opening up the body, aiming towards the bottom right corner, and it's a superb save. Low towards that corner. It's not a poor penalty, it's just a really good save, a really strong spring from the 19-year-old to push it onto the post, and then it was cleared. Corner's gone in, cleared at the near post. It's now with McCabe, who recycles it into the box. It's a great ball in, and a volley from 8 yards out. I think that was from centre half. Amanda Eilstedt, the Swedish international, who recently finished 15th in the list for the Ballon d'Or. McCabe with a great ball in. It's a diagonal ball towards the right side of the box. About 10 yards out. Eilstedt, the centre half, just got under it and sent it over the crossbar. But what a first 20 minutes to the game as City kick out of play on the halfway line for an Arsenal throw-in. Really energetic start. Arsenal started a little bit slow. City getting a few chances at goal, but the last 5 minutes been all Arsenal. Throwing towards Russo, won back by Manchester City, which now fell back to Russo, who charges down the Arsenal right towards the byline, gets the cross in, comes off, I think that was Kennedy, and he'll run through for an Arsenal throw-in in the final third. It's now with McCabe at right back with the throw-in. The Irish international who scored Ireland's first ever World Cup goal against Canada, captained a country for the first time at the age of 21. As they're throwing towards the box, it finds Russo. Edge of the box, he strikes it. It's deflected to Kennedy from Manchester City, who clears away. Again, another throw for Arsenal down their right-hand side towards the halfway line, where Eilstedt will allow McCabe to take. McCabe throws it down the line. It'll be chased down here by a Harby for Manchester City, who play it into Hasegawa. Pokes it through to Fowler. Into Hemp now on the left-hand side. Still in the defensive third here for City as a Harby clears long. Up towards Bunny Shaw, can't find the Jamaican striker. It's been headed out wide now to McCabe for Arsenal. Ball inside, it's wayward, picked up by Road. Can't find Kelly on halfway, tackled by Wubben-Moy. And the ball finds, oh what a touch that is. Arsenal trying, what a strike, and it's a great save. Arsenal's number 19, Caitlin Ford, picked up the ball there and had a shot from afar, and it looked like it was looping over Keating on the right foot. Couldn't be tackled by Esme Morgan, and she really had to jump up for that one, Keating, because she's only at the height of 5'6", so she really had to jump up for it. It's Bunny Shaw now, bursting down the left-hand side, tackled by Eilstedt. Just slowed down though. Bunny Shaw still has it down the City left, towards the corner flag, gets a cross in, it's a good digging ball towards Chloe Kelly, but it's well caught and collected by Zinsberger. And 22 minutes in, we've had a cracking start to this WSL lunchtime fixture here. Hope you are enjoying. Make sure you like and subscribe. Another WSL commentary coming later today. Brighton taking on Manchester United as Arsenal play from the back. It's a ball forward here to Kim Little, who missed the penalty kick. Forward. Great ball. Great turn as well. Chloe Lacasse, who won the penalty. He's bearing down on goal. Down the right-hand side. Edge of the box. Cuts onto her left foot. Wants to strike it. She does, but it's blocked by Alexandri. And hooked away by Hasegawa. Not very far, though. Picked up by McCabe in the centre of the field. Midway side of the City half. Goes back to the halfway line to Wubben-Moy. Drilled out to the left now to Ford, who cuts inside and is tackled though by Road. Manchester City can bring it away with Chloe Kelly on the right side, midway side her own half, on the near side. She'll want to do that ball down the channel, but it's cut out. Really good defending there by number 19, Caitlin Ford. You got the 6 goals last season. She got 2 braces, one in the North London derby against Spurs in March, and then one near the end of the season in May against Everton. As midway side the City half, Esme Morgan's got the throw-in. It goes to Road. He's been forced back towards her own goal and then caught late there. Free kick for Manchester City, given away by Valti for Arsenal. And they've taken it quickly to the edge of the 18-yard box towards the left-hand side here to Alexandri. It goes inside to Hasegawa, who picks it up in the midfield and plays it back to Kennedy. She's got a bit of time here in the Manchester City half. Making a 35th appearance for Manchester City. Kennedy. That's exactly on the halfway line. It is Chloe Kelly on the right side for Manchester City. It's now Esme Morgan, who played that short ball back to the goalkeeper for the penalty. Better pass now into Alexandri. Forward now to Fowler on the Manchester City left. On once more towards Hemp, cut out by McCabe. Tried to be won back by Fowler, but they've moved it on quickly, and it's now Kim Little. Tries to go back, and it's been misplaced, and it's back with Manchester City with Bunny Shaw, driving towards the right-hand side and playing it to Chloe Kelly. 1-on-1 with Steph Catley. Not got much support, Kelly, but she'll swing the ball in towards the far post, headed on as far as a Harby, who keeps it alive for Manchester City. Now Hemp, back inside to Fowler. On the City left here, in the final third, so they've got a chance to try and strike at goal here. Back midway inside the Arsenal half of Hasegawa. Esme Morgan from full back. She's gone inside into a more midfield position. And they're playing out to the right to Kennedy, who's got forward from centre-back. Out to Kelly. Ball inside to Road. This new signing in summer from Wolfsburg. Goes back into the Manchester City half with Esme Morgan, who's just filling in at right centre-half here for Kennedy, who's got forward from centre-half. Big switch out towards Lauren Hemp, who heads it inside, looking into the box for Fowler, but it's a misplaced header, and it goes through to Zinsberger. And it'll be Arsenal back in possession, as the Austrian goalkeeper has it in her hands. saved 11 of the 14 shots she faced in the Euros back in 2022, the Austrian goalkeeper, which I think is quite a very impressive stat, as Arsenal feed it down the right-hand side, looking for Lacasse, but it's dealt with and swept up by Alexandria at the back for City. That's a fantastic bit of centre-half play. Hasegawa inside to Bunny Shaw, the touch is poor herself, and it'll be swept up here by Eilstedt, who'll go back to her own goalkeeper, Zinsberger, who will clear with a right boot towards the Arsenal right-hand side, where it can be kept in play. And it's now with Kim Little on halfway. Moving away from the challenge of Road. Calmly playing it to left centre half, Eilstedt, who plays it into the Manchester City half. Furthest left there is Steph Catley. She goes back into the halfway line to Amanda Eilstedt, who plays a over-the-top ball in behind, looking for number 19 Ford, who will get there in an offside position. So the play's been stopped there and halted. And City have a free kick in their right back area. Looking in behind there for Caitlin Ford, who when she joined Arsenal from Sydney back in January 2020, she said that joining Arsenal allowed her to fall back in love with football. She's now made 100 appearances for Arsenal, scoring 31 goals, the 28-year-old. As there'll be Alana Kennedy to take for Manchester City. Long ball into the Arsenal half. It's headed away by Wubbenmoy, and it'll fall to the chest of Alessia Russo, who's got Ford making a run down the left, and she finds her. And a ball inside in the box, looking for the run of Kim Little. It runs through to the Manchester City goalkeeper. Decent little ball there. Good thinking, though. Couldn't quite find Kim Little, who did miss that penalty. Russo had it in her hands, and then she gave it to Kim Little, whose penalty was saved onto the right post. Keating diving strongly to her left. It's a decent penalty. It's not one of those where it's not really in the corner. It's a nice height. It's quite low, and it's decently in the corner, but it's a good save, and Kim Little waits for her first goal of the season. She made her 250th appearance during last season for Arsenal, the 33-year-old, who still got it, the Scots woman. Just over 27 minutes in, Arsenal have the lead. City started better off in the first 10 minutes. I'd say the next 20 minutes were all Arsenal, where they got the goal, but then the last 7 or so minutes have been pretty even. Both sides having spells of possession. As from the Arsenal kick forward, it's been won by Kennedy. Morgan's ball back to Keating. It's gone to the goalkeeper, but she kicks it quite awkwardly with her foot, and it goes out for a throw-in in the final third for Arsenal. As the throw-in's been taken, it's now with Russo on the left wing position towards the byline, charging towards goal. She's been side tackled strongly there by Alana Kennedy, and it'll be a corner kick on the near side for Arsenal. Likes to come wide for the ball, Alessia Russo. She's done it down both sides. The Arsenal number 23, offering herself for the ball to try and make those charging runs into the box where she can win set pieces, and obviously her main aim is to try and get shots at goal. As Arsenal have got a corner here. It'll be an in-swinger towards the centre of the box. It's headed away by Manchester City. It'll fall to Katie McCabe, about 25 yards from goal, drifting towards the right-hand side. And she'll play it back to the halfway line here to number 19, Caitlin Ford. Sorry, number 13, Leah Volti. It's now back with Zinsberger, the goalkeeper, just in front of her 18-yard box. Plays it out to the left-hand side to Volti. Back into the goalkeeper, who's just backtracked into her 18-yard box. And then hoofs it up the field beyond the halfway line, where it's chested down by Russo into Kim Little in the centre circle, twisting, turning, playing out to the left here to Volti. It's now Catley from left back getting forward and playing the ball forward here to Ford, who's one-on-one with Kennedy. Twisting away from the Australian. Great bit of skill from Ford. Wants to shoot. Stopped in the tracks by Kennedy, but she keeps the ball moving now to number 21, Victoria Pelova. It's now McCabe drifting in from right back. Flick in behind for Russo there by Ford. It's nearly good bit of skill, but it's swept up by Esme Morgan. And it'll be a throw-in for Arsenal, deep inside the Manchester City half as the momentum's just turned since the goal. Great skill. Flicking behind by Ford. Didn't come to anything, but good bit of initiative to try and get the ball in the box. As Arsenal restart at the halfway line with number 3, Wubbenmoy. It was called up for the England squad during the World Cup, but didn't get onto the pitch, unfortunately. It's Pelova for Arsenal. Out to the right-hand side now. To Lacasse. He tries to take on a Harby. Been forced to go backwards now to McCabe. Inside to Pelova. Lets it run across her body. and then goes back into McCabe again. Again, drifting from right back inside, dead centre of the pitch now. Tries to play ball forward to Russo, picked up by Kennedy. Hemp goes back to Ahabi. He finds Keating, the 19-year-old, who saved that penalty. It's now to Morgan in the 18-yard box. Dinks it forward to find Road, who touches heaven. It allows a slide tackle there from Catley, and it'll be picked up by Ford, who's then tackled by Esme Morgan, who wins the throw-in, kicks it off Ford. So, throw-in for Manchester City in their right-back area. He's got Kelly in support. Bunny Shaw is drifting further back. Throw goes into Road. Plays it into Kelly, who's tackled from behind by Catley. It'll be another throw-in for Manchester City. Interesting fact, not like anyone cares, but I saw Chloe Kelly at the Davis Cup tennis at the AO Arena in Manchester about a month ago. She walked right past me and I didn't say a word because it was one of them when you see her and you go, oh, that's Chloe Kelly, and then she was gone. I was like, oh, she's gone. So, yeah, you can't miss her, like I said before, with that bright yellow headband on that she's got on in the minute, as Russo has it for Arsenal, as they've won the ball back in the City half. A great place to win the ball, as it's a good switch as well out to Lacasse for Arsenal. Uses the right back, McCabe, who dinks it into the box. It's a header by Alexandri. It will get onto her own header and clear up the field down the City left. It's a little bit sliced, so it will drop for a Arsenal throw-in midway inside the City half, as they are struggling to get out their own half here for the last few minutes, Manchester City, as head coach Gareth Taylor looks on, the 50-year-old former Manchester City player himself. There's a Volti in the midfield for Arsenal, towards the right-hand side, plays it down the channel, looking for Russo. It's picked up by Alexandri for City, who clears it down the field, but it's not a good enough clearance. Won back by Lacasse, but tackled by Ahabi, and City have it back on the edge of the 18-yard box with Kennedy. Out to the left towards Alexandri, under a foot, throwing for Arsenal. Really under the cosh at the minute, Manchester City, who were top of the league at the start of the weekend, but Chelsea's victory away at Aston Villa 6-0 put them back on the top. A win for City will put them joint top, just behind Chelsea on goal difference. Lacasse goes back to McCabe at right back, who's got forward for Arsenal. Back it goes to Ailsted. On the halfway line is now Wubben-Moy, being closed down here by Chloe Kelly as the ball bouncing and she volleys away down the Arsenal right. Header won by Ahabi. Can't be picked up by Hemp. It's now McCabe. Ball forward. Flicked inside. Good play here. Pelova for Arsenal. Midway side the City half. Looking towards the right-hand side, but she's been tackled there by Hasegawa, but the Chloe Kelly touch went out to the Arsenal right, but she was caught late from behind by Kim Little. Free kick for Manchester City. I make it commentary as always. Thank you very much. As I said before, this is not the only WSL commentary of today, as I think Kim Little is the next player to go in the book for Arsenal after a challenge from behind. I think, or was it some backtrack from someone else? I didn't quite see who picked up the booking there from Rebecca Welch, who was also the first ever woman to officiate a men's EFL game back in March of 2021. Harrogate against Port Vale. As Manchester City left back Ahabi is just holding her right shin, as I think she was the one who made the foul. It's another yellow card. Rebecca Welch, she's absolutely loving giving out the yellow cards. Fines for days. I think that's 6 now altogether. Not sure. I'll have to. Keating for Manchester City. Hemp's got one. Now Ahabi. Lacasse for Arsenal. Volti and Pelova. 6 yellow cards, 3 apiece. Card mad, the referee. But it's one of them, she started it early. She gave one early for a foul by Volti, which was a yellow card. And she's kind of continued that, bar of fouls. She's not picked and choose when the yellow cards have been given out. As Arsenal play down the right channel, Russo chases, but it goes out for a goal kick. Such a good start for City as well, 10 minutes in. See who give the yellow card to here. Not sure who she gave the yellow card to there. Pelova. I'm sure she already had a yellow card, or am I? She mustn't have. Anyway, Palova was the one to get a yellow card there due to bad talk to the referee. She was not having any of that. As Keating, the goalkeeper, sends it out to the City left, asking too much of number 8, Mary Fowler. And that'll be a throw-in for Arsenal on the halfway line. Not quite making it happen. Those three in behind the striker for Manchester City, Kelly, Hempen, Fowler. Like I said, they had a good first 10 minutes where they got 3 or 4 shots off at goal. Shaw had 1 on target, but it was a pretty easy save for Zinsberger. But since the 10th minute, they've been under the cosh a little bit, really. Manchester City, as Hasegawa was picked up in the midfield, roared forward out to Kelly on the right-hand side. Into the final third. Taking on the challenge of Volti. Needs to get the cross in here, Kelly. She will do so. It's a teasing ball into the hands of Zinsberger in the 6-yard box. Good catch by Arsenal's number 1. And then the last meeting between these two in early April at Meadow Park. Manchester City did take the lead in the 5th minute. They had a quick start in that one as well. But they ended up losing 2-1 that day. Manoom and McCabe with the goals in the second half to give Arsenal the win that day. As they've now got it with left back Catley, the goal scorer for Arsenal. 15 minutes in, Wubben Moy tries to go down the left hand side towards Russo. Heavy touch, it's picked up by Roord, and Roord kicks it off Russo for a throw in for Manchester City, which will be taken by right back Esme Morgan. Throws it into Roord, back to the Arsenal goal. She's looking back towards her own goal and plays it backwards into her own half now with Kennedy. And it goes back to the 18-yard box for Manchester City with Keating. Out to number 4, Alexandri, who in January of 2020 was named by UEFA as top 10 promising players in Europe to look out for. And now at the age of 23, with the captain's armband on. There's Bunny Shaw tackled there, but the ball falls to Chloe Kelly on the Manchester City right. Goes back to Esme Morgan on halfway. Across it goes here to Ahabi. Out to the left now to Hemp. She's got Fowler in support, midway inside the Arsenal half, pokes it down the line, and she finds Fowler. She gets away from the challenger, Pelova. Goes back towards the halfway line to Ahabi. Inside to Hasegawa. It's now Morgan again from right back, just drifting inside into a midfield position. Fowler on the left wing. Inside to Hemp. Completes the 1-2. Fowler now has it, charging towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Still cutting inside. Plays it across. Roord, who wants to shoot. She will shoot. It's deflected and parried away by Zinsberger. Kelly will recycle it into the far post, where Hemp heads it across. Off the crossbar. Cleared away. It'll fall here to Ford for Arsenal. As Zinsberger stayed down in the Arsenal goal as the ball's been played down the left channel towards Russo. Cleaned up by Kennedy, and the clearance comes off Russo. Thrown for Manchester City. We've had a crossbar hit now for the Blues. Lauren Hemp, who's not the tallest, only 5'4", but she won the header at the far post. The first shot was from Roord, who's shot towards the right corner, was deflected down the centre of the goal, and he had to be dealt with by Zinsberger as it was put back into the far post there by Chloe Kelly. Hemp won the header, and it looped onto the top of the crossbar, and it was eventually cleared. Decent save there from Zinsberger. You'd expect her to make it, but that header from Hemp, spinning across goal, onto the top of the crossbar, and it was Eilsted who was able to clear for Arsenal as Zinsberger stayed down there. As the ball hit the crossbar, she was collided into by Bunny Shaw. So the Austrian goalkeeper's just stayed down for the moment, where she'll get some treatment here. Do not tell me the ref's got another yellow card out. I'm not sure. Yeah, Pelova's been booked already. I'm sure of it. No, it was Lacasse. God, Pelova got away with it. So, not long ago, Pelova made a challenge on Bunny Short. It was quite early. It was just a little bit after the first yellow card that Volti picked up. It was about 8th or 9th minute, I want to believe. And Bunny Shaw was fouled inside her own half by Pelova, and I thought she was booked for it, but she wasn't. It was Lacasse who was booked instead, who must have made a challenge before her. So it wasn't me. So she's lucky there. Yeah, she's checking her numbers. The referee wasn't sure there. She thought she'd made a mistake. So it was Lacasse who got the early booking, and then Pelova picked up a booking about 5 minutes ago for dissent to the referee. Bit of confusion there. Too many yellow cards the referee's giving out. She's losing count. But she's been consistent, which you don't see in the Premier League. With the men's game, anyway. They don't know when to give fouls and who to. So she's been consistent with her cards, but you don't want to get a mix-up and book someone twice. As we restart with Manchester City midway inside their own half with Alexandra at the back, taking it away from Kim Little and playing it forward here to Ahabi, who from left back just drifting inside into midfield. So they're doing a bit of Pep Guardiola way. As Kennedy switches it out to the left to Hemp. What a touch with the chest, but she can't get beyond McCabe at right back, and she'll charge forward the Irish international. Tries to go inside, but she's been shot down by Mary Fowler, and it's got to be a yellow card. And this time she doesn't. Wow. Mary Fowler's got away with one there, I think, because that was quite cynical on McCabe. It wasn't a soft one. Yeah, I'm very surprised that's not a booking, to be completely honest, as we're just under 5 minutes away from half-time. 1-0 Arsenal, 15th minute goal from Catley. Great arrow strike into the top right corner from inside the box, as Aylstead down the right to McCabe, who's got forward from full-back. Back to goal, being forced backwards by Lauren Hemp. And she will play a high ball towards Wubben Moy, who does head it forward. Got away with one there, McCabe. Header forward's gone to Russo, midway inside the City half, looking to play it out towards the right-hand side, and it gets through to Lacasse. One-on-one here with Ahabi, taking it towards the byline, wanting to cut inside, but she's been tackled fairly by the Spanish left-back. And that'll be a corner as she clears it. Couldn't keep it in play. Good running there by Lacasse, asking questions of Ahabi, but she answered them well with a good tackle, but does concede the corner. Can they double their lead before the break? It's been an entertaining watch in the opening 42 minutes, and it's Arsenal, the home side, with the lead, who currently go level on points with Manchester City if this result stays the same. As from the far side, it'll be a left-footed inswinger towards the near post. He's been flicked on towards the far post. A scuff clearance from Fowler. Still alive in the box. Needs to be dealt with. And it is in the end. Poked away towards the edge of the box. Cleared, helped on by Hemp to the halfway line, where the last back here is Caitlin Ford. Sorry, is Volti, who has to go back into her own half here to Zinsberger, who seems to have got over that slight knock she picked up from Bunny Shaw a couple of minutes ago. She clears it high, up the field towards the right-hand side, looking for Lacasse. Overhit, throwing from Manchester City, midway inside their own half here. And it'll be taken by Layla Ahabi, who won the Champions League back in 2021 with Barcelona, now aged 30, the Spaniard. City in their 18-yard box with goalkeeper Keating. Back to left centre-back Alexandra in a left-back position. Needs to play the ball here, and it's going to be thrown for Arsenal. Russo pressing from behind, forcing Alexandra to take a heavy touch out of play. Good pressing there from the number 23, Alessia Russo, who got the 3 goals herself in the World Cup. One in the semi-finals against Australia. Unfortunately, like every England player that day, blanked in the final against Spain in that 1-0 defeat. McCabe gets the return from the throw-in. Driving inside, taking on 2 Manchester City players. Edge of the box, wanting to shoot, and she does shoot into the hands of Keating. Simple save for the goalkeeper, who out of her hands volleys it up the field, nearly chested down by Bunny Shaw. It goes beyond the Jamaican, who will chase Aylstead down, and she will let it run for a throw-in. In the defensive third here for Arsenal, not taking any risks, keeping it in play. And she will leave it for Katie McCabe to take, who's making appearance number 198, Katie McCabe, so close to 200. She joined in December of 2015 from Shelbourne. Fowler's won it back from Kim Little in the midfield for Arsenal. Well, from Arsenal. It's in the centre circle now with Kennedy at the back for Manchester City. Just before half-time, we'll get a bit of time added on due to the stoppages for the penalty. Ball forward and out to the left here. Chloe Kelly's gone from the right-hand side to the left-hand side and playing a ball forward. Edge of the box to Bunny Shaw. Back to goal. Plays out to the right-hand side now to Lauren Hemp. On the left foot. Swinging it in towards the goal where Bunny Shaw, 6 yards out, stretches. Just misses it. Goal kick for Arsenal. Not too far away there from Bunny Shaw. He's not quite scoring like she was last season. Just the 2 goals so far in her first 3 games. She missed the opening day against West Ham. She's got a brace against Bristol. But that cross from Hemp, it was swinging in towards goal. Just avoided the Jamaican. As we hit the 45th minute here, Wubben dinks it out to the right-hand side to McCabe, whose ball inside's poor. 4 minutes added on time. Hasegawa from Manchester City. Switching out to the right-hand side in the final third. It's Hemp again. Driving inside, edge of the box, shooting, no crossing towards the far post, and a one by Eilsted. Met by the volley of Ahabi, blocked and cleared for Arsenal. It's going to be picked up here by Kennedy, midway inside the Manchester City half. Who plays it out to the left here to Alexandri, who drives towards the halfway line. Plays it inside to Hasegawa. Gets away from the press of Ford and gets it back into Alexandri. Down the line it goes here to Ahabi. Tackled strongly by Lacasse. And it'll be McCabe to clear with the left foot. Up into Kim Little. Great ball. Little down the right. Russo's trying to time a run. Little takes it on her own. What a run down the right-hand side. She's got options in the box. She crosses, which is deflected into the hands of Keating. Caitlin Ford was making the run in the box. Couldn't quite be found. But what a run that was from Kim Little. Ignored the run from Russo, because she might have been offside in fairness, and just kept going and got the cross in. It was just unfortunately deflected. City play out from the back, midway inside their own half with Hasegawa. It's just that glue in the City's midfield, makes it all tick. The Japanese international, who joined from West Ham last summer, spent 7 months at AC Milan in 2021, Hasegawa, so she's travelled around. Ball forward to Bunny Shaw on the halfway line. Tries to turn forward, and she does. Away from Eilsted. Feeds it out to the left side now to Chloe Kelly. Enters the box, and is tackled as she does so by McCabe, who clears it down the line and is fouled late there by Kelly. Free kick for Arsenal in the right-back area. No complaints there from Chloe Kelly. As she enters the box, it looked like she was about to get it onto her right foot, but McCabe came in with a tackle. And then as McCabe cleared it, she was just caught. And the free kick was won for Arsenal as they try and see out this lead into half-time. There's Arsenal, two superstars, Beth Mead and Vivian Miedema, who were on the bench, both returning from ACL injuries, picked up last season. There's Arsenal play the ball forward towards Lacasse by Russo. Chased down here by Ahabi, who will have to poke it out for a throw-in, right towards the corner flag. 90 seconds of the half to go. And City still under pressure here, as Ahabi has had a bit of a tough time on the City left, dealing with Arsenal's right-hand side with the likes of Chloe Lacasse and Katie McCabe. And it is McCabe with the throw-in here. Throws it to Kim Little on the far side, being pressed here by Fowler, who tries to win the ball back. And she kicks out of play for a throw. Another Arsenal throw. Oh, that's got to be a foul throw, surely. Just slips out of Katie McCabe's hands. Try to take it quickly. Throwing for Manchester City. Yeah, just tried to do it too quickly there and just slipped out of her hands. So throwing for City. Taken to Kelly, who's been caught there by Arsenal's number 24, Chloe Lacasse. So one Chloe to another. Then City have a free kick deep inside their own half on their left-hand side. Be taken by left-back Ahabi. There's 30 seconds left of the first half. Clips it up the field, looking for Bunny Shaw, goes over her head. Chloe Kelly will give chase on Wubben, whose clearance is not the best, but it'll drop to Eilsted. Play it into the City half now with Ford. Getting away from the press of Hasegawa and playing it out to the left side now to Volti. Forward to Russo, who's towards the centre circle, tries to switch it out to the right. Cut out by Ahabi. Volleyed into the Arsenal half, headed forward by Eilsted. Will drop here to Russo as the half-time whistle will be blown. And after 49 minutes at Meadow Park, we have had a pretty action-packed opening 49 minutes. Yellow cards for days. And we've also had some chances. The first 10 minutes or so was all Manchester City. Bunny Shaw with some shots at goal. One in the 3rd minute that went wide of the left post. Then one, I think, in the 7th minute, which was right down the throat of Zinsberger. And then just after the 10th minute, City started to lose their grip a little bit. Arsenal started to get into the game a little bit more. And in the 14th minute, Steph Catley from left back charged forward and was laid off by left winger Caitlin Ford. And in the box with a left foot, struck a cross goal into the top right corner. No chance for Chiara Keating to save. And it gave Arsenal, at the time, was a little bit of an undeserved lead. It was their first shot at goal. But as soon as that goal went in, the tide turned into Arsenal's favour. In the 18th minute, they won a penalty as well. Chiara Keating catching Chloe Lacasse late in the box after a short ball played to the goalkeeper by right back for Manchester City, Esme Morgan. And Kim Little, the 33-year-old who was yet to score this season, stepped up, placed it towards the bottom right corner, but it was superbly saved by Chiara Keating, who made up for the giveaway of the penalty off the post, and it was cleared eventually for Manchester City to keep it at 1-0. And then for the rest of the half, it's definitely been Arsenal who's been more in control. We had a close attempt for City as it hit the crossbar. A ball towards the far post by Chloe Kelly was met by the header of Lauren Hemp, whose header looped into the air and hit the top of the crossbar, and that was eventually cleared. But after the first 49 minutes of the first half, here at Meadow Park, it is Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. Good first half. Enjoyed that. It was a little bit frantic, to be honest, with the yellow cards. There were loads given out. But here's the goal. Chiara Keating clearance was not good enough. Picked up on the right side for Arsenal with Pelova, who played it forward to the edge of the 18-yard box to Ford, who helped it on once more to a left to Catley, who got forward from left back. And with a left foot, it was a striker's finish from Arsenal's number 7. The fact that she was left to make the run all on her own, absolutely free. Esme Morgan and Jill Roord couldn't get across quick enough, and that is a top finish into the top right corner. It really is. It was her first goal of the season for Steph Catley, who joined her first ever football team at the age of 6, and now at the age of 29, after over 100 appearances for her country, Australia. She's scoring for Arsenal in the WSL against Manchester City. It was a good build-up, though. And I mean, I know, Keating's clearance wasn't great, but the fact that Pelova picked up the ball, was looking to get it forward, playing it into Ford, even though she had a back to goal, she trusted her that she could create something. She had a back to goal, and she was able to just flick it round the corner to Catley, who around 14 or so yards out on the angle, top right corner. And then the penalty given away in the 18th minute. It was given away by Keating, the goalkeeper, who just tried to get to the ball first to clear it, but caught Lacasse first and the ball had already gone. But the ball back from Morgan, as City were trying to play out from the back, it was so short towards the goalkeeper, so her only chance of trying to stop a goal from open play was to try and tackle Lacasse, but she just got there late. But it doesn't matter, because even though she gave the penalty away, she made up for it from saving the penalty. So I'm sure Chiara Keating will be let off by Manchester City. Well, thanks to everyone who's here. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Just go through the yellow cards as well. Don't know if they've... 6 yellow cards. 3 apiece. Crazy. Pelova, Volti and Lacasse for Arsenal, and then Hemp, Ahabi and Keating for Manchester City. But I keep saying it, but it wasn't good first 10 minutes for Manchester City, where they got about 3 or 4 shots at goal, 1 on target, and it took Arsenal 14 minutes to get the first shot at goal. That Catley finish was their first shot of the game, and then once the goal had gone in, the momentum changed, and Arsenal was just better on the ball, getting forward, not necessarily creating, big goal-scoring chances necessarily, but, just having the ball in the City half a lot, which just eventually causes pressure and causes panic. Well, that penalty to go 2 up would have been very, very nice, wouldn't it, for Manchester City, for Arsenal, and it would have put Manchester City in a spot of bother in this game. But Keating with a fantastic save. And City just need to get back on it a little bit more. Need to create a few more chances. Obviously, they had that crossbar hit from Lauren Hemp towards the back end of the first half, but it was from a tight angle. The header was never going to go in itself. It needed the follow-up, where Bunny Shaw was there, trying to get there, but she clattered into the goalkeeper instead. And it means City still trail, unbeaten in the WSL. Manchester City. It is City, Chelsea and Manchester United who are yet to be beaten. Picked up 15 wins last season, Manchester City. In their 22 games, scoring 50 goals, conceding 25. They did unfortunately lose their last 2 games. Sorry, Arsenal picked up 2 losses at the end of the season, which allowed Manchester City to just claw back, trying to get that 3rd spot, but goal difference did it for Arsenal to get that 3rd place to go through Champions League qualifying, which they did at the start of the season. Arsenal, their Champions League qualifying, which did end in heartbreak. Their first qualifying round, they won against Linkoping, and then unfortunately they were beaten against Paris FC on the 9th of September on penalties, which was a big disappointment, as they did also follow the likes of Manchester United, who were also beaten in the second round of qualifying for the Champions League. So it's only Chelsea who will represent England in the Champions League this season, as it was also announced yesterday that Emma Hayes will be leaving Chelsea at the end of this season, which I think for the likes of Arsenal, Manchester City and Manchester United, who were looking to win a WSL, they're probably happy with that news that Emma Hayes will be leaving Chelsea Football Club. So some big news yesterday. That came after their 6-0 win away at Aston Villa. But it's the likes of, Arsenal, they haven't won a league title since 2019. Manchester City, their only WSL that they've won came back in 2016, where they won it 5 points ahead of Chelsea. So, it's trying to stop that Chelsea dominance. And, while Emma Hayes is at Chelsea, that's a difficult thing to do. But when she leaves, I think the door's wide open. Obviously, it doesn't take away the fact that Chelsea have got an unbelievably, talented squad. But, a manager does affect a team big time, especially with a character like Emma Hayes. If you've ever seen her where she does a punditry, or if you ever see her in an interview, she's just a great talker. She's very, you engage. When she's talking, you listen to what she's saying. I really like listening to her. So it'll be a big miss. I'm hearing she's lining up a job with the American national team. Don't know how true that is. Obviously, I think England would love to have her as the manager, but obviously England at the minute have got Serena Wiegman, who's done fantastic work with England, winning the Euros in 2022, and then obviously getting to the final of the World Cup in the summer. So it's not like England women necessarily need a new manager. But it'll be interesting to see where Emma Hayes goes, for sure. But what let down Manchester City last season was their start to the season. It wasn't the greatest of starts, and they had to make up with a huge run in the season where they went 14 unbeaten in the WSL. They won 12 and drawn 2 from October to March, and their 14 unbeaten run came to an end in that 2-1 away loss to Arsenal in the start of April. So we know Manchester City can go on big runs. It's just that those big runs really need to be the whole season. With only 22 games played in a season in the WSL, if you have any sort of drop off, even if it's 2 or 3 games, it can massively affect your season. You can't be going 3 or 4 games without a win. So, you just need to keep picking up those wins, and that's when you'll get to the top of the table and you'll be winning WSLs. So I think it's all about consistency, and that's what Chelsea bring. That's why they've won so many league titles. I think it's 5 of the last 6 they've won, and it's because of consistency. And that's what the likes of Arsenal and City and United need to bring this season if they want to challenge for that WSL in Emma Hayes' last season. As the second half will be getting underway in around 4 or 5 minutes time. And in fairness, Arsenal last season got off to a great start. They won 8 of their first 9 games. The 4 losses they picked up came evenly split, 2 at home, 2 away. They played multiple systems as well last season. They played a 4-2-3-1, then a flat 4-3-3. Also used a 3-4-3, used 3 at the back sometimes, and did put them in a 3rd place finish, where their home record last year picked up 2 losses against Manchester United in November, which, let's see if they come up against City, the blue side of Manchester this time in November. But they're currently winning, and then they were beaten as well by Aston Villa in May. I think that was the last game of the season, or one of the last games against Aston Villa. But it wasn't completely all doom and gloom for Arsenal last season. They did win the League Cup last season in the final against Manchester. I think it wasn't Manchester United who got to the League Cup final. They got to the FA Cup final where they beat Chelsea in the League Cup final. I know that because I've been doing notes for Manchester United as well. That there in my head as well a little bit. Manchester United got to the FA Cup final and were beaten by Chelsea. Arsenal got to the League Cup final and beat Chelsea at Selhurst Park. 3-1 it was. Let's make sure you come back later on today. 6:45 kickoff. Brighton and Manchester United women take each other on in the WSL. It's a double header. First time ever on the channel we're covering the women's game. And there'll be plenty more in the future. I think I've already got one planned for pretty soon, I believe. So the next commentary is next Thursday. That's Aston Villa against AZ Alkmaar. And the next women's commentary should be on the 19th of November. So 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks today, we're going to be covering the Manchester derby. United taking on City at Leeds Sports Village, the home of Manchester United women. So that should be a good one because I've enjoyed the game today. It's been great. I mean, cards everywhere, crossbar hits, penalty saves, top corner finishes. We've had the lot in the opening 45 minutes here at Meadow Park, which is the home of Boreham Wood in the National League, who currently sits 17th. They were knocked out of the FA Cup as well yesterday, away at Eastleigh. Boreham Wood, opening first 2 games of the season for Arsenal, were at the Emirates in that 1-0 opening day loss to at Liverpool. And then that 2-1 win against Aston Villa. Goals in the 92nd and the 93rd minute. They've scored a lot of late goals, Arsenal, even before the WSL season started. In the Champions League qualifying when they lost on penalties to Paris FC. To get the equalizer they needed to send it to extra time, they scored it in the 96th minute. It was a Jen Beattie goal who's on the bench today for Arsenal, formerly of Manchester City. 96th minute goal. And then to force it to penalties, they scored in the 116th minute. So this Arsenal team don't usually know when to stop fighting. They usually fight right till the end and reap the rewards a lot of the time. We've still got another 45 minutes left. Manchester City, who will not want to lose their unbeaten start to the season. And that unbeaten start does also include their League Cup win against Everton. Due to not qualifying for the Champions League, Manchester City do have to go through the League Cup group stage phase, where they started with a 2-1 away win against Everton. Jess Park and Bunny Shaw with the goals before a late Tony Duggan consolation goal for Everton, formerly of Manchester City herself, Tony Duggan. As Manchester City are back out on the pitch, a little team huddle. They know the job they've got to do. Interestingly enough as well, out of the 22 players on the pitch for both sides, only 11 started at the last meeting between the two, which was in April. Five for Arsenal's restart. Wubben-Moy, McCabe, Volti, Pullover and Ford. And for Manchester City, Morgan, Alexandri, Hasegawa, Kelly, Hemp and Shaw remain. So some new faces for both sides in this fixture. As Arsenal also having a little bit of a team huddle themselves for the second half, where they've got the 1-goal lead at home as well, so they'll fancy seeing this one out. But nothing is a given when Manchester City are in town. 3 wins and draw for Manchester City, 2 wins, draw and a loss for Arsenal to start the season off. Let's see what this second 45 minutes brings here at Meadow Park as Arsenal kick off, kicking left to right, Manchester City right to left, long ball forward down the Arsenal right. Lacasse heads it back to McCabe, who goes inside here to Volti. Pullover pokes it out to the right here to Lacasse, who's got a bit of space here on the right hand side for Arsenal. Playing it inside here to Pullover. Back to right back McCabe, who's midway inside the City half. Ball over the top, in the box, looking for Little. She'll find her on the byline and she'll pull it across. It's a high one. He'll go all the way to the back post here to Ford, who's one-on-one with Morgan. Tries to play a ball inside towards Catley. Cleared by Hemp. Up to Shaw, who brings it down poorly, but then wins it back here. And Bunny Shaw will drive and lay it off to the right here to Hemp, who gets it inside herself to Road, who plays a ball through and in behind for Kelly. She latches onto it, touch out to the left side, on the angle, plays the shot, and it's just wide of the post. Quick counter-attack from Manchester City, nearly ended in a goal. Just under a minute into the second half. It was well built there. It was a great ball in behind there by Jill Road from Manchester City, finding Chloe Kelly, who took the touch out to the left side, put herself on a bit of a tighter angle. She was able to shoot across goal towards the bottom right corner, and it was just a yard wide of the post. It wasn't too far away there from Chloe Kelly. Manchester City still trail here. As it'll be Zinsberger to play the goal kick. It'll be actually Woburn Moy to take it. Big kick out to the Arsenal right-hand side on the halfway line. Touched by Harby for Manchester City. Won back by Lacasse and taken over by Russo. Charging down the right channel for Arsenal. In the final third. Tackled there by a Harby, and it'll be a throw in here for Arsenal. Good work there by Alessia Russo. As they've just had a slight scare there, Arsenal. They need to make sure they're defending sharply for the remainder of this game, because Arsenal know the City have got the firepower to score at any point. As McCabe throwing goes back to Eilsted. Ball cleared forward to McCabe again. Inside to Pelova. He takes it away from the challenger of Road, but then tackled by Alexandri. His touch falls to Little, who works out to the left now through Volti. Into Catley. It's now Ford, one-on-one with Esme Morgan. Onto her right foot, low ball to the edge of the box, cut out by Hasegawa. And City have to deal with it. It's with Road. Losing out here to Catley. Ford takes over, tackled by Road. Throwing for Arsenal, taking quickly here to Volti. Forward to Little, back out wide left here to Ford. Can't take on Hasegawa. The ball will drop to Hemp, who is tackled there by Catley. And it'll be a throw-in for Manchester City midway inside their own half. Feisty start to the second half. Both teams looking lively. Hasegawa for City. Esme Morgan at right back. Back to Hasegawa. First time clearance up towards Bunny Shaw on the halfway line. Takes a touch away from Ruben Moy. And then plays it down the line, but no one's there to chase it. It will trickle through for an Arsenal throw-in midway inside their own half. As we're just over 3 minutes into the second half. And Arsenal still one up. Early chance for Chloe Kelly, who shot wide of the post for Manchester City. Throwing down the line, halfway line. Ford tries to play it forward towards Russo. Intercepted. It's now with Hemp. Road. Foul there on Hasegawa as she moved the ball on for Manchester City. 10 yards away from the halfway line. The free kick will be taken. Goes back to Kennedy at right centre half here for Manchester City. Ball forward to Shaw. Back to goal. Plays it out to the right hand side looking for Road, who can't quite get there ahead of Ford. And she'll play it inside to Volti. He's looking forward. Plays it to Russo. She's got her back to goal, but she's allowed to turn. She goes back towards her own goal. Overruns it, but tackle there from Road. Goes out of play. Throwing for Arsenal. Taken quickly down the line. Tackled by Manchester City. Now Hasegawa on the right hand side for City. Over the top ball for Shaw, who's been played onside down the right hand side. Enters the box towards the byline. Too tight of an angle to shoot, but she'll take it on anyway and hit the side netting. Wasn't really many options on for her there in the box. I think Chloe Kelly was close, but she took the shot on her own there, short. And the angle was always extremely tight. Actually, I think came off the right foot of Woburn Moy. Should really be a corner there for Manchester City, I think, but the goal kick's been given. No real complaints from Shaw, though, that the fact the corner kick wasn't given. So, you know, it's not like there was much outrage there from Manchester City as Hasegawa plays it out of play for City on their left-hand side. So it's an Arsenal throw-in just towards the halfway line for Katie McCabe to take. And she'll throw it back into Eilsted. Edge of the 18-yard box here for Arsenal with Zinsberger. Woburn Moy. Ball forward to the halfway line. Taken on the turn here by Ford on the Arsenal left. Good skill from the winger. And then playing it through and behind here for Catley from left back, who's got forward towards the byline. Keeps it in. Plays it across. But the flag was up. Catley, who was found in behind, just made that run a little bit too soon. Flag there for offside. as the two assistant referees today are Natalie Aspinall and Sophie Dennington, with Mel Burgeon as the fourth official. High ball in behind for City, up towards Shaw. Does head it on towards the edge of the 18-yard box. She'll chase her own header and she'll get onto it here. She'll bring it down Shaw. She's got Hemp free on the left, but she'll take it on her own. Cadger Shaw with the strike. It's deflected surely wide for a corner. Don't think it was. Just dragged wide there by Bunny Shaw. 2 shots for the Jamaican. Hemp was free on the left, but she took it on her own, chopping back onto her right foot away from the tackle of Wubben Moy. Really good skill from Shaw. And just on the 18-yard line, she struck wide. I don't think it took any deflection there, so goal kick for Arsenal. And there in the stands here at Meadow Park is Sean Gota, who is a part of the Manchester City women's team, part of the part of the side. Hasegawa for Manchester City switching out to the right, roared into the path of Esme Morgan. Gets the ball moving to Chloe Kelly, midway inside the Arsenal half. Goes for an early cross into the box. Hooked away by the left foot of McCabe. Straight back, though, for City, with Hasegawa in the centre circle. Looking out to the left-hand side here to Alexandri. Ball out to the left side now to Lauren Hemp. Everything to her right. Wants a 1-2, a Fowler. Can't be completed. Cut out by McCabe. Eilstead on the edge of the 18-yard box for Arsenal. Plays a ball here into Volti. Little into Pelova. Crosses the halfway line. He's got 4 to her left and she'll play it to her, who will then dink it out to the right looking for Lacasse. It's been brought down by a Harby and cleared by Alexandri. And it'll be chested down here by Hemp as Manchester City have possession back in their own half. So we've left back a Harby into Keating, who has to clear it away first time. It's not a great clearance, headed back forward by Volti. Brought down by Alexandri, but straight into the feet of Kim Little, who plays out to the right here in the box now for Lacasse. Low ball into the box. It's been cut out there by Kennedy, and then cleared by Esme Morgan, who can't find Shaw. Won by Wubben Moy, who's then tackled herself there by Morgan, and the ball's been played forward to Shaw, and City want to try and counter as Bunny Shaw's been brought down cynically, and that's got to be a booking. And it is. Rebecca Welch with the cards out again. As the medical team has to come on for Manchester City. Can't quite see who's been booked there. It is Caitlin Ford on the Arsenal left. The one who got the assist, Caitlin Ford. For Arsenal. And it does look like Bunny Shaw staying down here. Looks like she's hurt her shoulder there, the Jamaican. I think it's her right shoulder she's holding. It's still a bit of an awkward landing on her left shoulder, I think. After the slide challenge from Caitlin Ford. Yeah, she's struggling here. This might be the end of Bunny Shaw's day. And Bunny Shaw got 20 goals last season in the WSL, one of them against Arsenal at this ground in April. She got 7 goals in 3 FA Cup appearances, 2 goals in 3 League Cup appearances, 31 for the season. She got a red card in the World Cup as well against France for Jamaica. And the reason she's called Bunny Shaw is a nickname given to her by her brother because she loves carrots. So that's how the first name goes. Instead of Kadja Shaw, which is her first name, she's known as Bunny Shaw. She's got Bunny on the back of her shirt. She does walk off the field here with her right arm kind of being held inside like this. So it might be Bunny Shaw's day over. Just tackle from behind there, and as she fell, she just landed awkwardly on her left shoulder. And Bunny Shaw is back on. I think it's just a job of seeing how she deals with it. As City have the ball with Lauren Hemp. Inside now to Fowler on the halfway line. Goes back into her own half here with Hasegawa. It's now with Alana Kennedy. Driving forward away from the challenge of Caitlin Ford and playing it into the path of Esme Morgan, who crosses the halfway line, takes on one Arsenal player and gets it into Kelly. Inside to Road. He's got the 3 goals already for City since joining from Wolfsburg in the WSL. Out to the left now to Hemp, driving inside. And then back on the outside, taking on McCabe towards the byline. Gets the cross in. Headed away by Arsenal towards the far post where it's Esme Morgan trying to take it on. Cleared in the end there. I think it was by Volti. And it's a Manchester City throw-in. Yep, it was Leah Volti with the clearance, who's a Swiss international, got to the round of 16 of the World Cup with Switzerland in the summer. She's the one to clear it as Manchester City have a bit of momentum now. Camped inside the Arsenal half as they look to try and get the equaliser. Hasegawa playing out to the right side now to Chloe Kelly. Everything to her left. Right-footed. Cross towards Bunny Shaw. Towards Hemp at the far post, and it's not been converted. It looks like Bunny Shaw is going to be okay to continue. She nearly got on the end of that cross. And in the end, it went right through to the far post of Lauren Hemp, who couldn't quite control it. She ran out of pitch. Great ball from Kelly. Missed by Bunny Shaw at the front post. And then miscontrolled by Lauren Hemp at the far post. And Arsenal survive. Nearly got a touch to it there. Bunny Shaw. And then Lauren Hemp was stretching for it. And a touch wasn't good enough. Out of play for a goal kick as Arsenal have conceded the free kick on the edge of the City 18-yard box on Alana Kennedy. Fouled there by Caitlin Ford. Played to right back Morgan. Forward to the halfway line now to Kelly. Goes down the channel. Down the right-hand side looking for Bunny Shaw. She will give chase. It'll be Wubbenmoy to get there first. And keep it in play. Oh, she does keep it in play, but Bunny Shaw commits the foul. Free kick. Bunny Shaw pulling back Wubbenmoy. Free kick for Arsenal in the left-back area. Yeah, just got in front of Bunny Shaw and then was just pulling a shoulder, which is quite ironic. Bunny Shaw just hurt her right shoulder, her left shoulder. No, was it a right? I think it's a right shoulder. Wubbenmoy with the clearance from the free kick. It's high into the Manchester City half. It's a header won by Kennedy, but only as far as the feet of Russo, who's on the left wing here for Arsenal. Plays it through in behind Alpha Ford. What a run. Pull back. Kim Little misses it. Palova wants to shoot. Can't quite take it on. And cleared in the end by Manchester City towards Shaw, who heads it on. Doesn't find a blue shirt. It's now back with Ford for Arsenal. Plays it forward towards Kim Little, intercepted by Morgan. And City have possession now with Alexandria on the edge of the 18-yard box. Across now to Alana Kennedy, who did play 88 minutes last season against Arsenal in the League Cup semi-final here at Meadow Park, where Arsenal did come out victorious. That was their first meeting of the season last campaign. Alexandria from centre-back, driving forward, away from the challenge of Lacasse. Now out to Fowler on the left. He's not done much this game. Links up with Hemp. It's now Lauren Hemp on the left-hand side, getting away from the challenge of McCabe. Now Fowler again, about 22 yards away from goal. Fowler onto a right foot, playing it into Hemp, crossing it. Bunny Shaw with the header! Oh, it's off the woodwork. City getting closer, but Bunny Shaw should have scored. 6 yards out, Lauren Hemp. Fantastic cross. As she dug the ball from under her feet to get the height on it, to find the head of Bunny Shaw on the edge of the 18-yard box. Crossed it towards the far post, and exactly 6 yards out, Bunny Shaw gets away from Wubbenmoy. Almost it is a diving header towards goal, and it hits the outside of the right post. And Arsenal survive another scare. And City getting closer. Still 1-0 to the Gunners, as they want to make a double change it. Number 12, Frida Manum will come on. Holding midfielder for Arsenal. Was their top goal scorer last season with 9 goals. She will replace... I'm not sure who she will replace. We're also getting Beth Mead coming on as well. Beth Mead returning to Meadow Park for the first time. Obviously, she made a return at the Emirates against Aston Villa. So it will be Victoria Pelova to be replaced by Frida Manum. And Chloe Lacasse will be replaced by number 9, Beth Mead. And Beth Mead, who has returned in the last 2 games, getting the assist for the winner for Alessia Russo in that 2-1 win against Aston Villa. And City are going to make a double change of their own. Number 14, Esme Morgan, will be replaced by number 18, Kirsten Kasperay. And the left back, Layla Ahabi, will be replaced here as well. And she will be replaced on the left-hand side by number 41, Julie Blackstad. So some attacking reinforcements brought on by both sets of head coaches. Jonas Adeval for Arsenal and Gareth Taylor for Manchester City. So back underway, halfway line with Kim Little for Arsenal. Goes back into her own half with Eilsted. Tries to get the ball out to the right-hand side. It's cut out by the head of Blackstad. And it'll be a throw-in for Arsenal with McCabe. Throw it towards Beth Mead. Chest it down, keeping it away from Blackstad, and goes back into McCabe on halfway. Right, left-footed ball in behind. It's a high one, looking for the run of Mead, possibly. Dealt with by Alexandri. Cleared out for a throw-in, though, for Arsenal. Midway side the City half. Not a great clearance there by Lila Alexandri. As Arsenal have it now with McCabe. Forward to Mead. Back once more to Little on halfway. Out to the left side to Wubben Moy, whose touch just nearly takes her towards Bunny Shaw, but she sweeps it out to the left now to Caitlin Ford. Got the overlap of Catley, and she'll find the Australian, who just about keeps the ball in here on the Arsenal left. She goes back to Ford, who scoops it in towards Catley, who can't quite get there ahead of the City player. And it's now Ford Road for City, who gives it away to Ford. And it's now Kim Little, 30 yards from goal for Arsenal. Just playing it out to the left here, keeping it simple for Arsenal. Manoom with the shot towards goal. It deflects into the 18-yard box, and it's going to be dealt with here by Kennedy, whose clearance comes off Hasegawa. And it's back out with Arsenal on the left with Catley. Poorly given away there by Kennedy. Ball forward, intercepted though by Kelly, who has it for City, who's been taken down cynically. And it'll be a free kick for the Blues, midway inside their own half on the right-hand side. Frida Manoom with the foul, who won Fans Player of the Year last season and was in the PFA Team of the Year. As I mentioned before, the leading scorer for Arsenal in the WSL last year. Frida Manoom. Free kick from City, helped on by Bunny Shaw. It'll be chased down here by Chloe Kelly on Catley, who has to force the clearance. Thrown for City, deep in the Arsenal half. Just a simple free kick, launched forward, and the clearance was forced by Kelly. It's now thrown for Manchester City into Road. Goes back to Hasegawa, who just drifted out to the right-hand side here. She goes across to Alexandri. It goes back into Hasegawa. All Arsenal players behind the ball. Shifted out to the right-hand side here. Kelly. Midway inside the Arsenal half. Ball inside to Hasegawa. Back out to Kelly. Goes for an early cross. It's a looper. It's going to be Zinsberger to come and collect. And she'll throw it out quickly as well. Beth Mead set away. She'll keep it in. They've missed this Arsenal. Beth Mead galloping down the right-hand side. 1-on-1 with Blackstad. She plays it inside instead to Little. Shifts it on once more towards the Arsenal left now. With Catley. Ford. Ball inside. Manoom. Ball across into the 6-yard box. It's caught by Keating. Looking for Alessia Russo in the box. Couldn't quite find the Arsenal number 23. Good ball there by Ford to find Manoom. Manoom in the 18-yard box. It's Hasegawa for Manchester City in the midfield. Loose ball, won back by Arsenal. Played forward towards Alessia Russo. Just can't quite take it under her control, and it'll fall through to the Manchester City goalkeeper, Kiara Keating. He went on loan and played 4 games for Coventry United in the Championship last season from January to April. Kiara Keating. It's Fowler. Ball down the line for Hemp for City, who will chase, can't get there ahead of Eilsted, who will play it back to the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box, Zinsberger. It'll loop into the air. It'll be brought down by McCabe. Clearance is poor, picked up by Fowler, whose ball inside's also been deflected by Beth Mead, and it'll be now Kim Little. Looking to the Arsenal left. Now looking out to the right-hand side, playing it in behind, looking for Mead. It's cut out by Blackstad. And it'll be played back to Keating for Manchester City. 25 minutes to go. Still 1-0 Arsenal. 14th minute goal by left-back Steph Catley is the difference so far. Ball forward to Shaw on the halfway line. Touches it towards Hasegawa. Can't get there ahead of Kim Little. It's now with Arsenal again. Caitlin Ford down the left. Been causing issues all day. And she kicks it off Kasperay for an Arsenal throw-in midway side the City half. She's been on fire all day with the assist as well, Caitlin Ford. He got the 12 goals in all competitions herself last season. The Australian winger. Throw taken to Volti on the Arsenal left. Just can't quite find. I think that was Caitlin Ford. And it's the throw in for Manchester City, which is taken long down the line, looking for Bunny Shaw. Does help it on inside, but it's picked up by Little. And the ball out by Ford inside towards Russo's been intercepted. That's been switched out to the left here to Lauren Hemp on halfway. Got runs in front of her. Not many that are of any use. She will use Fowler here on the Manchester City left, driving inside, right-footed ball towards Bunny Shaw. It deflects in the end for Roord, out to the right to Kelly, who will float across in towards the far post, and again caught by Zinsberger. She's caught every single one so far today that she's come for. Really confident goalkeeping by Arsenal's number 1. Still has the ball in her hands here, the Arsenal goalkeeper. As the game is still available. As Gareth Taylor was having a discussion there with Sean Gota. Alexandri from Manchester City heads it back forward for the Blues. Towards Bunny Shaw, cleared away by Wubben-Moy into the City half now with Kennedy. On the halfway line, brought down by Roord. Played back now into the feet of Kasperay. The substitute. It will go into the 18-yard box now with Kiara Keating. It's now left centre half, Alexandri. Across to the edge of the box now to Kennedy. Keating out to the right back, Kasperay. Chest it down nicely. And we'll play a ball down the City right, looking for Bunny Shaw. We will get there first and clear. It's now with Volti. Pokes it forward. Kept well here by Arsenal. Volti on it, midway inside her own half. Goes back into Eilsted at the back for Arsenal. It's now number 3. Wubben-Moy, who spent 2 years of her career playing college football in America alongside Alessia Russo at North Carolina Tar Heels. As Beth Mead wins a throw in there for Arsenal. Midway inside the City half, taken quickly by McCabe into Kim Little, who did miss a penalty in the 20th minute. Ball forward by McCabe. Nearly got through there for Manum. But just couldn't quite take it under control, the Norwegian, who made a debut for her country at the age of 17. Or at the age of 24. Frida Manum. With Gareth Taylor, the head coach, he's got some thinking to do. He's won Manchester City and FA Cup in 2020, a League Cup in 2022. Won back-to-back Manager of the Month last season in February and March as well. Gareth Taylor, who played for Manchester City for 3 years, from 98 to 01. As Kasperay tries to charge down the right-hand side for Manchester City, dispossessed. And it's now Arsenal on the ball in their midfield. They've had a lot better hold of the game in the second half, Arsenal. Russo tries to flick it out to the left side. Cut out by Kasperay for Manchester City. And they'll restart with their goalkeeper, Keating. It's now Alexandri. Hasegawa out to the right to Kasperay on the halfway line. On the far side, in front of the 2 technical areas. 1-2 with Chloe Kelly. Now back here to Alana Kennedy, who again forced back to the edge of the 18-yard box. City don't want to be going backwards. They need to be going forwards, really. Back to the right back, Kasperay. Down the line, finds Kelly in a bit of space. And the ball inside to Roord. It's now Alexandri out to the left-hand side to Blackstad. She's got Hemp in front of her, and she'll play it to Manchester City's number 11. Keep the ball moving here to Fowler. She tries to twist and turn away from McCabe, and she does do so. Fowler on the left. She's got Blackstad to her left, and she'll play it to her. Everything to her right now. Goes back into Mary Fowler. Will cross it with the left foot. It's a dangerous one towards Bunny Shaw. Headed away by Wubben-Moy. To the edge of the 18-yard box now to Kasperay, the City right back, who will put the ball back in the box. It's another header one. And it'll fall right back to Kasperay for City. Kelly cuts inside, left foot, low cross, headed away again. And it'll fall to Alexandri for Manchester City so they can keep applying the pressure as they look for this equaliser. On the halfway line, it's Alexandri at centre-back. Works out to the left-hand side now to Blackstad. She's got forward from full-back. Hemp inside to Fowler, edge of the 18-yard box. On her right foot, looking towards the City right, finds Hasegawa. Kelly wanting it, she gets it midway inside the Arsenal half on the far side. One-on-one here with Catley. Can she work a magic here, Kelly? Hesitating on the pass and being forced to go backwards to Caspere. Now onto the halfway line, now with Kennedy. City probing, wanting the equaliser. It's a game that they've kind of lost control of from the first half. It's been Arsenal who've looked the more controlled side, especially this second half. Hemp on the left, inside to Fowler. 1-2. Hemp, byline, needs to get the pass right. She does do so towards Bunny Shaw. Blackstad with the shot. Oh, he's blocked and cleared. Into the box though. Shaw has it. Back to goal. Goes across. Kelly with the shot, and City equalise. It was messy from an Arsenal point of view defensively, but Manchester City will not care. Chloe Kelly scores her 3rd of the season. She scored in the 1-1 draw at against Chelsea. She scored against Leicester away from home in the 1-0 victory. And now she scores at Meadow Park. With just under 20 minutes to go, Manchester City have an equaliser. It was a great 1-2 between Fowler and Hemp, who have been trying to make things work all day for City down that left-hand side. The pull back for Shaw was tackled by Wubben-Moy. Then Blackstad's shot was cleared. And then a clearance that was attempted to be made, deflected back towards the Arsenal goal, into the path of Shaw, who very calmly found the pass towards Chloe Kelly, whose shot was deflected from 8 yards out, towards the bottom left corner. And City have their equaliser. Very fortunate the way that clearance deflected back towards their own goal. But it was such calm play from Shaw. She had a back to goal, made sure she kept the ball at her feet, played that ball across for Kelly, who then had the shot at goal deflected into the back of the net. And we have an equaliser and game on here at Meadow Park. 1-1. City want to keep their unbeaten record alive. And they're doing so at the minute as Arsenal come back at them with Ford down the Arsenal left in the final third here. 1-on-1 with Road. Ball inside now to Catley. Tackled there by Caspere. Kelly tries to clear long, but it's not dealt with well. Little for Arsenal. Back to the halfway line. Ailstead. Forward to Russo. Plays it into the path of Little. Midway side the City half. Looks towards the right side to McCabe. Forward to Little. Back into their own half now with Ailstead. Driven forward by Wubben-Moy. Out to the left now to Catley. Plays it forward to Ford. Completes the 1-2. Catley dinks it out to the left now towards the byline to Manoom. Right-footed. In-swinging. Cross. And Keating comes to collect. Fantastic goalkeeping there from the 19-year-old. But as the ball's gone in, it looks like Alexandri was just caught there by Russo. Both medical staff on the field. Keating still has the ball in her hands here. Let's have a look. As the ball was put in, Keating came and Alexandria was clattered into from behind by Russo. And then as she was jolted forward from being pushed from behind, she then went right into Keating. So basically a big sandwich there for Alexandria, who her back of her head and then took a bit of a thump to the front of her head as well. So she's laid down here. Manchester City missing Alex Greenwood today due to a head injury. She picked up an international due to away at Belgium in the first half, where that game had 14 minutes of added on time due to her head injury, but she's okay, she's recovering. But due to concussion protocols, she misses out today. As Arsenal are going to make a change. Alessia Russo is going to be replaced by number 25, Stina Blackstenius, who got the winner in the League Cup semi-final between these two sides last season. So Russo off with 15 minutes to go. Still just the one goal so far this season for Russo. That came in the 94th minute, the winner against Aston Villa. She did get the 2 goals as well in the Champions League qualifying games against Paris. But she did miss the penalty that knocked Arsenal out of the Champions League. Alexandri back to her feet. What an achievement for Laia Alexandri, 23 years of age, captain in the side. Let's have a look here. So I need to see. It was actually more. It was down the centre of the goal. Actually, the deflection took it down the centre. Zinsberger dived to her left towards the bottom right corner, and the shot was deflected right down the centre of the goal. But as I mentioned before, Man City will not care at all because they've equalised. So I don't know who cleared that ball for Arsenal, because obviously I think it came off Fowler and then back forward into Shaw. So back underway, Keating with a big kick up the field towards Bunny Shaw, headed on by Wubben-Moy. Only as far as Road, who looks for the City left, where Beth Mead is tackled there by Blackstad. McCabe with the throw in, midway inside her own half. A long throw in towards the halfway line, looking for Blackstenius. Try to hold it up here for Arsenal, but she's lost out here to Alexandri. He will then play it back here to Keating on the edge of the 18-yard box. So City back in possession. Apology about the noise there. I'm trying to find out who did that clearance for the goal. Shaw battling with Kim Little in the Arsenal half. No, it's no way. It's a foul. Oh, referee. Fowler and Shaw wanted to take it off Little, and I thought they were getting good pokes at the ball there, but the referees give a free kick. But they lost it straight away. Really poor ball. Hasegawa now for City. Out on the left-hand side. Great ball out to Hemp in the final third. She's got Fowler making a run forward in the box. She'll find her. And then she'll play it back onto the edge of the box now to Blackstad, the substitute. The clearance from Russo came off Fowler as Hemp charged down the left towards the byline, wanting to go out of play. She slips on the ball. And I think it's an Arsenal free kick. Let's have a look here. Hemp just slipped there on the ball, and then it... I don't actually know what she's given there. Beth Mead and Horan Hemp was down. I don't know. Zinsberger's got it anyway. 6-yard box being closed down by Bunny Shaw, but she's able to move it on quickly to Wubben-Moy, who dribbles out of the 18-yard box and plays a ball out towards the Arsenal left, cut out on the halfway line by Kennedy for City. Hasegawa out to the right now to Kasparé. Down the line to Kelly, tries to go inside towards Road, cut out by Arsenal. It's now Kim Little in the midfield. Still inside their own half here. Arsenal. Yeah, that clearance from Russo. Tried to get it forward down the Arsenal right. It came off Fowler into Bunny Shaw, who then played it across to Kelly, who shot into the back of the net. Arsenal, since that goal, their passes aren't connecting. They're not stringing passes together as they were. Hasegawa inside to Bunny Shaw, 25 yards from goal. Goes backwards to Blackstad, who's looking towards the City left. Curls it out to the left-hand side now to Lauren Hemp. Got Fowler again making a run forward. Finds her. And then tries to get the return towards Hemp, who makes a run forward. But McCabe will not see it out for a throw. It's kept in by Hemp, but it's dealt with by McCabe and cleared by Aylstead. And one back by Hasegawa. City keeping the pressure on, winning it inside the Arsenal half. It's towards the halfway line with Alexandri. Blackstad midway inside the Arsenal half. Back to Alexandri. All Arsenal players behind the ball as the momentum is turning. The tables are turning here. Hasegawa on halfway. It's now with number 4, Alexandri. And that goal from Chloe Kelly is the 27th for Manchester City since joining from Everton in 2020. As misplaced ball there. Blackstad gives it away. McCabe passes the halfway line and shifts out to the left-hand side. Caitlin Ford, 1-on-1 with Kasparé. Enters the box, wanting to get into her right foot. She tries it, but can't get beyond the City right back. Really well defended, and she clears it down the line, looking for Bunny Shaw, and it's just gone out of play. Thrown for Arsenal, just inside their own half. Good defending, though, there by Kirsten Kasparé for Manchester City, who's come on at right back. Made a senior debut, age 15, back in the Netherlands, her home country, for Herenveen. Now at the age of 23, the City right back, as Arsenal have it in their defensive third here with Wubben-Moy in a left back area. He's able to clip it down the line with a right foot, but it's cut out by Hasegawa. Now Road for City on the right hand side, back on the halfway line with Kasparé, who spins to look forward, goes to Kelly, ball inside towards Road, cut out by Volti. And the clearance only goes as far as Hasegawa, who gets away from one Arsenal challenge, plays it inside to Road. who slowly plays it out to the left to Alexandri, who passes the halfway line for City. Out to the left now to Blackstad. Into Hemp. Gets the second bite at the cherry and she gets it out to the Fowler on the left-hand side. Wants to go inside to Hemp, but the run's not really on, so goes backwards to Hasegawa. Who has it in a almost left-back area here for Manchester City. Alexandri, ball forward to Hemp. Back to Hasegawa. She's got Fowler with her, and she'll use Mary Fowler here. One-on-one with McCabe. Wanting to get onto her right foot. She does do so. Low ball to the edge of the box to Hemp. Clips it in towards the far post to Shaw, who does win the header, but can't direct it towards goal. Goal kick now for Arsenal. They are definitely knocking at the door here in Manchester City to try and nick the 3 points at Meadow Park. Bunny Shaw asking for a penalty for shoving the back after the header, but they're not really given. I mean, Catley has to be careful because it is two hands in the back. Showing at full speed, it doesn't look great. She definitely just needs to be careful there, pushing in the back like that. But in the Newcastle-Arsenal game, you can push defenders in the back now and get away with it. So, what do I know? Again, the Arsenal clearance, header won by Road. Chloe Kelly's caught late, wins the free kick on the right-hand side. Steph Catley, the Arsenal goal scorer, gives it away. Just couldn't quite get the clearance far enough there. And as Road intercepted, played it forward towards Chloe Kelly. Got there ahead of Catley. And wins the free kick. 8 minutes to go. Plus added on time. Chloe Kelly, the goal scorer, is back to her feet. Third goal of the season. Formerly of Arsenal as well. Chloe Kelly. Yeah, just showing that shove again on Bunny Shaw. I don't know. I just think it's too soft for a penalty as the ball goes in from Chloe Kelly, but it's going to be retaken. Rebecca Welch not happy with something. Bringing the spray back out again. So spray back out. It's going to be retaken by Chloe Kelly. Quite far from goal, but definitely in a position to cross this ball in the box. Rise smile there from Chloe Kelly, who places the ball down. So one woman war for Arsenal with Kim Little. Great area to get this cross in the box. She puts it in. It's a one towards, don't even beat the front man. I think that's Beth Mead who heads it away. Blackstad helps it back into the box. Chance here for City. Headed on by Wubben-Moy towards the edge of the box. Helped on by Volti. Volleyed away by Mead. Kept alive by Casperay, but picked up by Kim Little midway inside the Arsenal half. And she needs to release it. She can't do so quick enough. Won by Road. Falls to Fowler. Gets out to the left here to Bunny Shaw. Chance here for Manchester City. Bunny Shaw, edge of the box. Playing it forward to Hemp. Working herself away from the Arsenal challenge. Back onto her left foot. Great bit of skill. Dinks it in. Shaw nearly heads it away, but it's Wubben-Moy to head it away. Kept alive. Fowler in the box. Again on the left-hand side. Crossing it towards the far post. And it's caught by Zinsberger, who will throw it out quickly. But play's been stopped. As there is a player down. Who is the player down? Steph Catley, the Arsenal goal scorer, with 6 minutes to go. City definitely look the stronger side at the minute, putting Arsenal under pressure. Remember another commentary later today. Brighton taking on Manchester United in the WSL, 7:15 kickoff. So we've had a great opener between these two top sides in the WSL. This would put Manchester City second in the table. It would mean Arsenal stay 7th. As we're back underway, Catley's okay. It's now in the Arsenal half here with right back McCabe. Back to the 18-yard box to Zinsberger. Being closed down here by Bunny Shaw. Clears it with her left foot, straight to Chloe Kelly, who sees her off the line. She goes for the dink, and it's misplaced and over the bar. And the arm up there by Zinsberger. She knows that's a really poor clearance with a weak foot. Kelly probably should have done better than that. Took it on too early. She could have drove towards goal. She went for the dink, just didn't quite catch it. quite well enough there, Kelly. And it ballooned over the crossbar in the end. But Zinsberger forced to clear it on her left foot. Just straight to Chloe Kelly. About 22 yards out on the angle on the right-hand side. Over the bar it went. And now Arsenal play out from the back. Ailsted in the 18-yard box. Closed down by Hemp. She clears it with her left foot as well. Helped on by Manum. But it goes over her head. And one back for City. Just inside their own half here with Kennedy. He's looking towards the City right. Swings out to Kasparet. Great ball as well. Brings it down. Enters the final third on the right-hand side. Goes across to Rord towards the edge of the box. It goes beyond her, but Hasegawa picks it up. Great bit of skill. Back out to the right side to Kelly. Shifts onto her left foot. Low crossing. Dealt with by Wubben-Moy. Towards Hasegawa, who hooks it back forward for Manchester City. Into the 18-yard box where it's sliced away by Wubben-Moy. And Catley helps away down the line, but kept in by Chloe Kelly. City are the team in control. Can they snatch a winner? Ball forward towards Mary Fowler. Can't take it under control. One back by McCabe. Long ball forward. In behind looking for Blackstenius. Keating misjudges the bounce. Blackstenius with an open goal. And it's a gift for Arsenal. It's an absolute shocker of a mistake from Keating. And in the first half, she gave away a penalty to be the villain. Saved it to be the hero. And she returns to be the villain again. Oh, it's so bad. It's a hopeful ball forward by McCabe. Keating came out of the 18-yard box to head away. It bounced over her head, right through to Blackstenius, the substitute, who had the easiest chance she'll ever have. Over the head of Keating, chested forward by Blackstenius. Just as she enters the 18-yard box, she gets the shot away. She couldn't miss. No one was there to stop it. And as it rolled in down the centre of the goal, Keating head in hands, Arsenal lead at Meadow Park. They've been under the cosh for the last 15 minutes, but their first chance on the counter, they've taken it. Oh, Keating, what a mistake. There's no real reason for her to come out. If she stays on the edge of the 18-yard box, she probably gets the ball. But she wants to meet it sooner, comes out of her box, goes over her head. Blackstenius, the substitute, charging towards goal. Finishes it into an open goal. Blackstenius, who got the winner against City in the League Cup semi-final last season in extra time at this stadium. Looks like she might be getting another winner for Arsenal against Manchester City. And Keating can't believe it. Hemp is substituted with 2 minutes to go. She's going to be replaced here by number 16, Jess Park. Lifelong City fan, skillful, creative winger. Recently came off the bench for England in their 1-0 win at the King Power against Belgium. But what a gift. I wouldn't even mind. But Arsenal have done nothing in the last 15 minutes. They've been defending as much as they can because City have really piled the pressure on. And a long clearance from McCabe gave something for Blackstenius to chase. And as it went over the goalkeeper's head, Blackstenius had an easy shot in an open goal to give Arsenal the lead. Blackstenius' second goal in the WSL. Her first one came away at Manchester United to put them 1-0 up in that one where they ended up drawing 2-2. But something's gone on here. There's a crowd emergency and it's not looking great. Just after the goal, the paramedics have been rushed over to the North Bank stand as Arsenal will make their changes now. Number 19 coming off Caitlin Ford for right back Noelle Moritz, who joined in the summer of 2020. Swiss international, moved there at the age of 10, was born in California. She comes on for Caitlin Ford. But it's just been one roller coaster of a game for Kiara Keating. Gave away a penalty in the first half, saved it as well, and now she just gives the goal away and probably gives Arsenal the 3 points. So Hemp and Kelly both off. Hemp and Kelly off for Castellanos and Park. So 2 changes on the wings for Manchester City, as well, we're not sure how long they'll have left to turn this around, because we've had a crowd emergency where we've had to have some medical attention taken into the crowd, so we hope everyone's okay. But it does mean that there's going to be a little bit of a break here, as we've got 10 minutes of added on time already, and we've not even started playing additional time. But the ball given away by Alexandri towards Mary Fowler, and just a long, hopeful ball towards Blackstenius. Went over the goalkeeper, straight into the path of the Arsenal striker. And she chested it forward, right-footed, low-driven shot into the back of the net. And it's a gift. But it is a gift that Arsenal will happily receive and accept. Like you say, it's not Arsenal have particularly done much bad. They've just not done much going forward the last 15-20 minutes. They've just defended really well because they've been forced to. And, they've capitalised on a mistake. And they're ahead. You can't blame them. It will bring the head-to-head as well for these two, all level. This will be Arsenal's 13th win. We've had 2 draws and we've had 13 City wins, so it'll be dead level for the head-to-head. So there's always close games between these two sides, as we still can't continue yet. I think we might be getting underway soon, as the players are ready to restart from kick-off. We've had 2 minutes of the 10 added on, but we'll obviously play a little bit more than that now due to this break we've had to have due to a crowd emergency. The medical staff and the paramedics are walking away from the scene, so we are hoping that's a good thing and that's a good sign. But for all the work City did to get the equaliser as well in the 72nd minute with Chloe Kelly, and then to carry on the pressure to keep the momentum, and then to give it away like that for it as a keeper, it's just devastating. It really is. We still wait. We've played 3 minutes of the added on time and we're yet to get started. The goal was scored in the 87th minute. And 6 minutes later, we still haven't restarted. There is Jonas Eidevall. This is his 49th WSL game as a manager. And this would be his 35th win. So he's coming up to 50 games in this league, as both captains of both sides are being called here. Alexandri and Little, who missed a penalty in the 20th minute as well for Arsenal. That would have put them 2-0 up, but they've got the lead now. So the referee has a word with both captains. Not sure what was said, to be honest. Is Rebecca Welch the referee? I had no idea what's going on. Both sets of players go towards their captains to talk about what's going on. City have sent a couple of footballs out here, so the players can just keep the ball moving between themselves. So until we see what's going to happen, we'll let you know. 4 minutes now into additional time and we're yet to kick off again. We really hope whoever's in that crowd is okay. As both sets of players just get into squares, circles, octagons, whatever shape they are, star shapes, and they're knocking the ball around between the two. And, I mean, obviously, all hopes and wishes go towards that supporter who's struggling, but for Kiara Keating, who's just made such an error, to have to now stand there and not have the game to continue and kind of just have to dwell on her mistake, that's going to be tough for her. If the game carried on, and you can kind of forget it a little bit because the game's carrying on, so you've got to switch it off. You've got to go forget it. But the fact that the game's not carried on, and that's just going to be replaying in the head. Oh, I shouldn't have come, shouldn't have done that. should have stayed in my box. That's just going to be playing in her head now. So the Manchester City players need to make sure that Keating, the goalkeeper, just keeps ahead in the game whenever it restarts. You've got to remember as well, Chiara Keating, who's made the number one spot at City her own this season. She's played every WSL game. She's only 19, really inexperienced. Before today, she'd only conceded one goal, and that was at home to Chelsea. She's got a very bright future. She started training with Manchester City's first team at the age of 16, and she was on the bench for England in the international break. She's got a very bright future, Chiara Keating, and stuff like this, mistakes like that, almost need to happen for her to learn and to make those mistakes to then become a better goalkeeper, to know, right, that happened last time and I made a big mistake in a big game, but that won't happen again now. So it'll definitely be a big learning curve. Remember, she saved that penalty she gave away in the 20th minute, so it's just been a game of big highs and huge lows for her. So, yeah, we're still not underway. 6 minutes of the 10 added on. We've not kicked a ball since the 87th minute, so we're going to get a lot of time added on. The goal scoring started in the 14th minute. Catley with the goal in the top right corner. Top finish, assisted by Ford. The Manchester City's goal came from an assist from Bunny Shaw. The clearance from Russo, deflected back forward into the box to Shaw, who played it across to Kelly, whose shot was deflected right down the centre of the goal to equalise, and City continued the pressure. And then in the 87th minute, McCabe's clearance into the City half couldn't be met by Keaton, who left their 18-yard box and went over her head, straight into the path of Blackstenius, who put it into an open goal. And that's the last action we've had. We have not kicked a ball now for 10 minutes. So we're going to have a lot of additional time here at Meadow Park. So 10 minutes of no football. So we've still got the 3 minutes of additional. We've got the 3 minutes of the 90 left to play, and then the 10 added on. So we've got another 13 minutes left to play here, as it looks like both sets of players are setting up to restart this football match here. Whoever was affected in the crowd, we all hope they are okay. But with the football, we're going to get back underway. We're in the 8th minute of added on time. We've had 10 added on. We've not kicked the ball since the 87th minute. Bunny Shaw back for Manchester City. City kicking right to left, remember. Arsenal left to right. And we're back underway. Arsenal 2-1 up. Blackstenius with what looks like could be the winner. And we've got another between 10 and 15 minutes left to play. It's going to be a late finish here. Another booking here. Given out by the referee. As it's Arsenal throwing. I think it was McCabe with the booking. Just a late one on Kennedy as she cleared the ball for City. Kim Little loses possession for City, just about one back by Volti. It's now the edge of the box with Wubben-Moy, who takes no prisoners, takes it forward. Blackstenius with a header out wide to Beth Mead on the right-hand side for Arsenal. Plays it into the path here. Great ball. In behind. Keating comes for it and catches. Really good goalkeeping there. Great ball forward as well by Merritz for Arsenal, who's off the bench as the right back. City lose the ball there with Mary Fowler on the left-hand side. So we have nearly played all of additional time, but we just had a huge stoppage of around 10 minutes. So even though we've had 10 minutes added on, we had the stoppage during the added on time. So we're going to be playing even more minutes. So we'll probably hit, I'm going to guess, around 110 minutes maybe a bit less. It's with City on the right-hand side. Jess Park takes on McCabe. Driving forward here. Gets it inside to Road, who can't get away from the challenge of Kim Little. What a tackle that is. Kim Little playing it out and out to the left-hand side. Manoom will give chase for Arsenal, but it'll be Kennedy to get there first. Plays it back to the goalkeeper, Keating. Who'll play the ball forward now to Jess Park. Sorry, to Alexandri. Sorry. We'll play the ball forward now to Road. Into the Arsenal half we go. She's got options to her left and right. Here's Castellanos. Out to the left now. Mary Fowler on the edge of the box. Onto her right foot. Shoots with height and it's clipped onto the crossbar. Big save from Zinsberger. Fowler with the strike on the edge of the box. It was down the centre of the goal. But it had height. And it had to be tipped onto the crossbar. The 5'10" Austrian was able to jump high enough to tip it over the bar. Well, tip it onto the bar and over. We've also had Jen Beattie come on for Arsenal as well during that time. The 32-year-old centre-back as Arsenal to shut up shop to try and see this game through. Corner goes in. Far post. Shaw rises and heads over the bar. Bunny Shaw, I think, just caught the head there of Arsenal's number, is that 20? Yeah, 28. Eilsted, who's had a good game, the Swedish international, making her third start of the season in the WSL. As everyone is okay. And it'll be Jen Beattie now on the ball, playing out from the back in the 18-yard box. Long ball forward, down the right channel, looking for Beth Mead, who will kick it off Blackstad, and it'll be a throw in for Arsenal midway inside the City half. Really well won there by Beth Mead. And it'll be right back. Noelle Moritz to take. This is reading her player profile. Moritz, and she's one of the best one-on-one defenders, apparently, in the women's game. As her throw-in is headed by Hasegawa into Fowler. Plays it inside. Great ball. To Castellanos for Manchester City, who goes back into the 18-yard box here with Kennedy, who's got no Arsenal player near her, so she'll drive outside the 18-yard box. City still have time, despite being in the 103rd minute of the game. We had a crowd emergency during the time added on, so we're going to be playing well into the 100th minute and beyond. Ball down the line for Manchester City towards Castellanos. Can't get there, Edda Kim Little. And Beth Mead now has it. Inside on the halfway line to Volti. Who has to go back midway inside her own half to Beattie. Who goes out to the right here to Kim Little. Who plays a ball down the right channel. Curls it inside. What a ball. Blackstenius on the angle. Pulls it across straight down the throat of Keating. Needs to do better there. Blackstenius. I think there was an offside actually in that ball to Blackstenius. Curled in behind there by Kim Little. I think she was onside. Bad decision there from the lineswoman. But City won't care. But they've given away the ball. Yeah, they have. On the halfway line. Just a short ball down the right-hand side. Can't quite find Jess Park. And it's a throw in for Arsenal. In the 104th minute of this game. Throwing down the line by McCabe. Header won there by Alexandri. Straight out for another throw in for Arsenal. Just in front of their own technical area here. Thrown again by McCabe. It's a long one. It's a high one. Down the line. And it's again headed out by Kennedy. Another throw in for Arsenal. Great way of killing the clock. Thrown down the line again. Header won by Kennedy. Towards Kasperday. Now Alexandri, who clears for Manchester City. Down the line. It'll run out for another throw-in. Really doing well here. Arsenal. Just killing all the momentum. McCabe with the throw-in. It's a big one again down the line. Helped on by Blackstenius towards Mead, who helps it on towards goal. We brought down by Kennedy and cleared out for another throw-in. Well inside the City half. Arsenal are killing this game expertly well. McCabe with the throw. In towards Blackstenius. Alexandri wins it. And needs to be cleared by Kasperday. It's a low one. Out for a throw-in again. This is really good. Doing everything they can to see these points through. This will be a third win in a row for Arsenal after not winning in their first two WSL games this season. Another throwing down the line. Header won by Alexandri. Can't be helped on by Road. McCabe battling with Park. Park comes out of it well. She takes it away as well. Charging down the right-hand side. Forward towards Bunny Shaw. It's just behind her, though, and Kim Little picks up and clears off a City player. Throw in again for Arsenal, right on the halfway line. Throwing down the line. Header won by Alexandri for City. Picked up by Park. It goes back here to Castellanos. Down, in behind for Shaw. The keeper comes for it and just about clears it. Throw in for Manchester City in the final third this time. Ball played in behind. Zinsberger had to make her mind up and she just about cleared it in time. Throw-in taken. Kasparov for City. Backheels it into Park. Pokes it backwards to Alexandri. Across to the left to Blackstad. City about 30 yards away from goal here with Castellanos. Has to go back into the centre circle here with Kennedy. Try to break down this Arsenal defence, which is shaped up to be strong. Fowler. Down the left-hand side. Cuts it inside towards Blackstad. Clearance from Little, deflects off the City player. And in the end, they clear from Eilstad. Only as far as the halfway line to Alexandri for Manchester City. Hasegawa on halfway in the centre circle. Keeps the ball moving. To Kennedy. Heavy touch. Gives it away. Beth Mead into Blackstenius. Tackled by Blackstad from behind, but the touch goes through. Into Blackstenius, who keeps it. Manoom on the shot for Arsenal. Down the throat of Keating. Easy save for the Manchester City goalkeeper, who's going to kick this one long. High into the sky. Looking for Bunny Shaw. Headed won by Wubben Moy. Picked up, though, here by Blackstenius. Really well done. Arsenal now in the Manchester City half. Got Beth Mead in front of her. And she'll play it into a path. Who's going to run towards the corner flag now here, Beth Mead. Tackled, though, by Castellanos. City have it back deep inside their own half. They're in their 18-yard box here of Hasegawa. They need to drive it forward here. Manchester City. Alexandria on the right-hand side now. Midway inside their own half. City just keeping the ball inside their own half. They can't really work it any further forward. Blackstad on the ball. And the referee blows the whistle. Altogether, we've had 112 minutes of football. And it's Arsenal to come out on top. They took the lead in the 14th minute through Steph Catlett, who got forward from left back. And fired it into the top right corner after Arsenal's first shot of the game. And Arsenal went on to dominate that first half. Couldn't quite find a second, even though they did have a penalty in the 20th minute saved by Keating from Kim Little. And in the second half, Arsenal were in charge again. But the momentum just started to change. After the hour mark, City started to take control and got their equaliser in the 72nd minute through Chloe Kelly. And as they carried on with their momentum to try and get the winning goal, Manchester City ended up conceding it instead. A long clearance from McCabe in behind the City defence. Keating came for it. Went over the goalkeeper's head outside the box and right through to Blackstenius, who from 18 yards out had an open goal to get the winner for Arsenal. And with all the defending they had to do, with City having 62% possession and 17 shots, Arsenal's defensive work was rewarded with their 2 goals. And at the end of the game here at Meadow Park, it's Arsenal 2, Manchester City 1. Arsenal 3 wins on the bounce now. City are now no longer unbeaten this season. That's their first defeat of the new campaign. And they'll feel hard done by. They dominated possession and the majority of the chances at the start of the first half and definitely at the second half of the second half. But if you don't take your chances or you don't create good enough chances like Manchester City, you can be punished. And that's what they were. They were punished through Blackstenius. Yes, it was a huge error from Kiara Keating. But it's what happens in football. Errors occur. Mistakes happen. And unfortunately for Keating, it's come from her. She gave the penalty away in the first half, but she saved it. But she couldn't quite make up for this error this time. And it ends in defeat for Manchester City, their first loss of the season. Great commentary, thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who stuck around as well. It was a late finish there due to a crowd emergency after the second goal in the 87th minute. So altogether, we were treated to 112 minutes of WSL action today. Extended Arsenal 2, Manchester City 1. I hope you enjoyed the first ever women's commentary on the channel. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Next commentary is later today, 6:45 kickoff. Brighton taking on Manchester United women in the WSL. Make sure you're here for that 6:45 kickoff. But here at Meadow Park, it's Arsenal women who make it 3 wins on the bounce. They inflict Manchester City's first loss of the season. It's a Blackstenius winner again this season. She did it last year in the League Cup semi-final at Meadow Park. She's done it again. Big mistake from Keating. Arsenal pounce and they win. 3 wins on the bounce. And Arsenal now on the same points as City. 10 points each after 5 games. And we're going to have one hell of a title race this year. So make sure you're back here. 6:45 kickoff. Brighton taking on Manchester United women. But here at Meadow Park, it is finished Arsenal 2, Manchester City 1.